Welcome to Chad and Zay on this Friday, July 21st, 43 days away from Texas football, 48 days away from the NFL season. A lot of good sports talk today. It's been a great week. I know a lot of y'all off because this is Austin Friday. People get off early and stuff. So if you're driving home in your car or you just at the crib, we on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. Stream it, hornfm.com, YouTube, and Twitch. Chad Hastings still out on vacation. We'll be back Monday. I am Zay Collier. And today, again, a lot of good guests this week from Bucky Godbolt, Cameron Parker, Keenan Womack. And y'all know on these airwaves, when it comes to Westlake Chaparrals, it takes a lot, like a ton, for me to mess with you, for you to be my guy. There's the rare Kevin Dunns of the world. You know, Sam Ehlinger's my dude, Justin Tucker, the Chris Mims, Brock Cunninghams, and this guy here who's joining me today on Chad and Zay. Special place in my heart because he took my spot after I was done producing Bucky and Aaron. He's a Westlake Chaparral, Texas State grad, even though he was living on West Campus. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. Ty Henderson, what's poppin', man?
Nothing much. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on this Friday,
There's
man.
some kind words kind of there.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I have to show you your love, dog. Like, you and I, we share a deep bond. Like, every person that's produced Bucky and Aaron, you know how iconic that show is. You know what it means to have that relationship with Bucky Godbolt, with Aaron Hogan. And it's very special. And
Definitely.
like guys like Brad Kellner have paved the way. Adam Wagner have paved the way. And Trey Elling. All those guys I'm cool with, like really tight with. And we all just have a certain bond with one another from producing that show. And you and I, even though you're a Westlake Chaparral, we got that bond. So I appreciate it.
I trained with you a few days before I started. You showed me the ropes.
That's right, bro. Put you on game a little bit. Yo, one of my favorite moments with you where I knew I was like, yo, this is my dude. Texas OU game, Cotton Bowl, Red River rivalry now.
Yep.
That's what we're calling it. To hell with, I still call it the shootout. Yeah, what I got
It's
to
been
lose.
like 15 years.
Yeah, man, shootout, whatever. Y'all know, man, I don't mean any harm in that. It's no crazy malice stuff. Like, it's the shootout. But that day, which was a marvelous day for obvious reasons, 49-0. I mean, how can you beat that as a Longhorn fan? But you and I sat by each other. My wife was there. You had your family there, your bro. I think your pops was there.
Yeah, my dad was a few seats down. Yeah.
And you were looking loud as hell for one, rocking the Indianapolis Colts blue Sam Ehlinger jersey, like in the sea of burnt orange and white. This fool Ty was wearing the Indianapolis Colts Sam Ehlinger jersey, which is so fire. But yeah, you were loud as hell that day, and you were turned up. You were on one a little bit, just on the way. It was a long ride from Austin to Dallas, and I don't think you put down the cup.
No, I like to take part in some beverages before some Texas games. I feel like my performance in the stadium it contributes to whether we win or lose. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, your performance again was on one. We were around a lot of frat guys, right? Yeah, a lot of fraternity girls and frat guys. A lot of students.
They were in my area.
Yeah, exactly. They were in your area. Wrong area to be in. Like, I wasn't playing that stuff either. And, if you've been to the Texas OU game at the Cotton Bowl, it's a little congested. It could be a little tight in there. And if you want to sit down, you're going to be, rubbing elbows. And I was throwing elbows like Ludacris and
well, you
stuff
had to
like
break
that.
up. You had to break up a fight pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. These frat dudes, they're all boys. They want to stand by each other and sit by one another because, again, everybody wants to take in this marvelous game with your homies. But this dude, Ty, he was in your spot, and he wasn't supposed to be there. And he tried to justify it by saying, no, bro, I'm just trying to be here with my man. Like, I'm trying to be here with my friends. And dog, you weren't playing that.
Mm-mm.
I was like, yo, this dude Ty. Before that time, I was like, yo, this dude Ty, fun, go, happy, lucky guy, loves life, enjoys life. Again, you were on one that day, drinking a little bit, but yo, once they pressed your buttons, you were ready to throw down.
Yeah.
And you were like, yo, no, I'm not playing this, dog. You either get up out my seat or we gonna have a serious problem. And I had to hold you back a little bit. I was like, yo, I'm loving this right now, but Ty, I don't want you to get kicked out, baby. I can't have you get kicked out right here.
You were sitting back for a second, then I just heard like, well, hold on. I don't think you wanted me flying into your wife and she.
Well, yeah, there was that.
I had just met her like 3 minutes beforehand. Like, I'm sure she thinks I'm a crazy idiot.
Yeah. She thinks you're a crazy one. But man, that was a really
it's a great
day.
memory. I tell that story all the time.
Yeah, you gotta check those frat boys though. They can't, and plus, oh boy, he was little too, and his boys didn't have his back either. Because I had Joe back and my big black ass. I'm a friendly teddy bear, but I can look intimidating when I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go Mark Henry OG style, like when I want to, and just, get that look. And they weren't playing that.
That's the thing. 95% of the time, if you give someone that look, they usually will back down. And what did I not end up before the game even started? I think we shared a beer. I shared a beer with those guys.
That's right.
And I was like, all right, y'all cool. Like,
called it troops. We were all high-fiving. Like when it became 21-0, we were all high-fiving.
We were all friends. Yeah, I sat next to him the whole game. I was like, it's
funny how the course of the football game could change.
Like
how you're feeling.
Those are some of the
people.
the people that you'll maybe never see again. If you do see them, you'll probably see them at another Texas game. But just building those 3-hour relationships.
Right.
That's something that I live for.
Yeah.
Any kind of sporting event.
Because you always go to games. What's been your favorite game? Now, you can remember because I know you've been going to UT games since childhood, but what's been the favorite game that you've been a part of?
When
you're in the stadium.
At DKR or
anywhere Texas played.
Probably recently, probably the Texas OU game where Dicker hit the game winner, and Kyler Murray went like flamethrower mode.
He went crazy at the end. That run where he went down the sideline.
Yeah, we were all like, oh, because it had a similar feel to last year where it was a party for most of the game because we were whooping them. But and then it came back, and then of course Cameron Dicker sealed the deal. But that was probably one of the more fun games. When I was thinking about it though, most of the games that I remember that were the most hype at DKR, I think Texas lost. You think about the Alabama game last year.
Yeah.
That was fun, even though it was 11 a.m. The LSU game a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think that was a more rowdy environment than the Alabama game.
Oh, I still remember, what was it? I think it was 37-31 at the time, and Joe Burrow, when he dodged all that contact and he made I think he was getting hit and made the throw to Justin Jefferson, who took it
down
to the end zone.
Yeah. Well, when you run an all-out blitz on 3rd and 15.
Maybe it wasn't the best call. Maybe it wasn't the best call, but
if Keontae Ingram also doesn't fumble, like how many times he lost us 2 games that year.
The other one was what? It wasn't Oklahoma State Tech. Which one was it? Because he fumbled another one.
He fumbled the LSU game away, and then he fumbled later the next week.
Yeah.
I think it was Oklahoma State or something like that.
Yeah, then he was putting up numbers at USC.
Yeah.
Ain't that a bit?
And now he's on the Cardinals.
Ain't that a bit? God, grief. But hey, salute to Keontae Ingram. Glad he's doing better now. Jam-packed sports day. Thank you, Ty Henderson, for joining me on Chat and Zay. But oh, Ty, when will these athletes learn? When it comes to when you get drafted, or even before that, like when you know that you're going to be something, because a lot of guys, everybody wants to go pro. NFL, MLB, NBA, everybody wants to get to the next level when they're a college athlete. And you look up to guys growing up, and you see different examples of what to do and what not to do. If I'm thinking about MLB, I probably look at Pete Rose, and that's one of those not to do. Maybe Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, not to do. even though those guys all had great careers. Again,
Barry,
I love the steroid era. So, yeah, that's a different story. I love the steroid era. My favorite era in sports. That's what made me really enjoy baseball and say, okay, this game isn't as slow as I thought. Like, you could really put some fun into it. But NBA-wise, you got guys like Ja Morant, and Allen Iverson, who was kicking his baby mama out the crib butt-ass naked.
Never heard that story.
You never heard that story? Bro, AI was, during his Philly days, he was out of control.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't know the specifics of any of those stories, really.
I want to say either the year after or the same year they went to the finals with LA, he had something going on with his baby mama, and he was looking for, with the pistol all over Philadelphia. And then they got into a fight or something, and he kicked her out, and she was butt naked, outside the house, which is Iverson's house. Obviously, you're going to get attention. I mean, it's around 02, 03, maybe 01. I don't know, but it's not the social media that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
If it was, wow. If AI had the social media that we do now, Twitter, Instagram, all the stuff with the cameras, and everybody has a phone, we would think of AI very different.
I feel like the players used to be a lot worse because of that.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can get away with it. I mean, Michael Jordan, we consider him one of the greatest athletes ever, and I mean, we already know some of the shady stuff he was up to. I'm sure there would have been a lot more that'd come out if he was put in the position that a lot of these guys today are.
You're right. Jordan got baggage. Jordan got luggage. So, you got to look at these athletes and their examples for the better or worse. There's always, role models and stuff. I understand that. But when you see things like Jalen Carter at Georgia and the situation that he's in, now he's good now, but somebody lost their life in that situation, even though he wasn't involved.
He was in the other car, right?
Right.
Okay.
Then you got Henry Ruggs, whose whole life was ahead of him, played for Nick Saban, winning national championships, high pick, goes to Vegas. We know what happened there. Killed somebody in a car accident going way too fast. And now we have another player who hasn't even taken a snap yet in the National Football League. And a guy that I thought had a big chance of coming to Texas last year when he was trying to decide after he won the award for best wide receiver in college football at Pitt, and instead going to Texas, he ended up going to USC, Jordan Addison, and the situation that he's in now. He was cited for speeding and reckless driving after Minnesota State Patrol pulled him over for a ridiculous driving 130 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour speed zone.
Was he drunk?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
I didn't hear anything about that.
He was in the Lambo, of course. He was in the Lambo. It was just after 3 a.m. I don't get these guys.
Do you have the need for speed?
I know.
Have you ever?
No, I don't. That scares me.
I haven't.
That scares me. I know guys that need the rush.
I mean, I've definitely gone on the tollway,
right.
I felt like no one's around. I've definitely gone over 100 miles before, but it feels weird. I feel dangerous.
And the way these cars are made, I remember driving my grandma's Volvo that was given to me as my first car, 1999 Volvo. I thought I was clean as hell, Ty, back in the day, coming out of high school. But, you felt everything. When you went 80, 90-ish.
The car starts shaking.
Yeah, you felt everything, and it scared the crap out of you.
I've had a few cars like that. Yeah.
Now I'm in a different car. It's a 2018. So when you get around 85, 90, it's still smooth.
Yeah.
You don't feel it.
True.
You don't feel it as much to where you can get.
I'm sure 115 in the Lambo feels like you're going 70 in another car.
So I don't know, and I don't want to know. But Jordan Addison, man,
that's 100. He was going 100 miles over the speed limit.
That's ridiculous. The incident remains an open investigation, but the rookie was issued with a citation. And he was in a Lambo SUV. It wasn't even one of the sports car Lambos. It was like a soccer mom Lambo. And it's bruh, haven't you learned from all these other players making examples of themselves? Henry Ruggs' life is over. That's it for him. I don't think he'll ever play in the National Football League.
He's in jail, isn't he?
Yeah, prison. I don't know how much time, but prison. And with seeing that, you think Roger Goodell and guys like that are going to play about these situations?
Oh, think of all the talks that he just got out of in like rookie mini camps and all the pre-draft process. That's basically all they do is talk to you about don't gamble and don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
Do
they still have Herm Edwards doing those talks?
Oh, I'm sure.
Herm Edwards.
Tony Dungy.
Yeah, all those OGs putting you on game like, hey, save your money.
Hey, but we also can't assume just because you're very athletic and you've made it this far in the NFL that you're a smart person by any means.
That's true.
Stupid people are going to do stupid things.
That's true.
That happens in everyday life. It just because you have money instantly and you're famous doesn't mean you're making smart decisions.
Yeah, because in a way it can make you even more stupid. Because now you have money and now you think you're untouchable. Like
you don't have to. Yeah, you don't feel the need to like improve your knowledge of the world. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's rich people that are like that's like, oh well, I have money, so
yeah, I'll get myself out of it. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Which he will get out of this. So I don't think this will be a learning moment for him. He might get suspended a game.
Yeah. Well,
maybe 2 games, but like he still have his entire career in front of him. Like you're a rookie, this probably won't be a learning moment for him. But I don't think he hasn't had any troubles before with like the law or anything, right?
No, I don't think so. But
this is different than like the AI story you were telling me or the John Morant with that is way more dumb than than obviously what Jordan Addison was doing is dangerous, but. I still think he'll be all right.
Yeah.
As long as he just kind of wakes up a little bit.
Yeah, and he's in a interesting situation this year because they don't have Adam Thielen anymore, and even though Adam Thielen lost a step or two being in his 30s, he was reliable.
It's a security blanket.
Exactly, especially for Kirk Cousins. So now them bringing in Jordan Addison, him being their first round pick, like you're the first round pick. They got a lot of high hopes for you, dog. So I get it. My wife, she in Minnesota right now with my in-laws and my mother-in-law's family. I get it. Ain't much to do.
Are they fans of the Vikings?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, can't stand Kurt. Can't stand. I hope they watch the Netflix
I still haven't watched it.
Peep it. Check it out, dog. Check it out, because me and Cam talked about it on Wednesday. It will change your view on Kirk Cousins.
I've always liked Kirk Cousins.
I've liked him, like the you like that stuff. Like, yeah, that's funny. But also, I know that there's levels to this quarterback game. And if he was my franchise quarterback, I don't know how much faith I would have in him to go to the Super Bowl.
It's similar to how I feel with Dak.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's a very, he's going to win you games.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get you to that next level.
And we're going to talk about Dak, throughout the show, especially you being a Cowboys fan. I love your take on, anything sports, especially on B&E. You do such a great job there. But yeah, dog, like Kirk Cousins, you gain a lot of respect for him watching this documentary that is produced by Peyton Manning on Netflix. Like, he's just a down-to-earth guy. He sees a shrink to kind of help his psyche and help his mental health because he knows what it takes to be a high-level NFL quarterback, and he knows the pressure that comes with it. And he, like any athlete should, holds himself to a very high standard and holds himself to be a very accountable person, but he also is objective with it and understands that, yo, man, I'm going to throw a pick every once in a while. We're going to lose games.
I mean, his own receiver came out and didn't put him in top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth on that. I don't know how I feel about that because
I'm good with that if I'm Kirk Cousins.
If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm like, okay, that's true. Again, he is objective about himself, so I could see him realizing, yeah, he's right. The guys plus the guys that Justin Jefferson named, they are way better than Kirk Cousins. But also, you got guys like Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore who just got to the squad, haven't even played with Dak Prescott yet. They just been in practice and seen him around and how he carries himself in the locker room. They saying, oh, this guy, he's it. He's a guy that could take us to the Super Bowl and that. And then I hear you, who is very close to the Cowboys and watches every single game, every single snap.
I want to believe that.
Yeah, and your discomfort is you're comparing them to Kurt. You're comparing Dak to Kurt for obvious reasons. He led the league in interceptions last year. So
I mean, he's referred to as the Black Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
By a lot of people, not just myself. I mean, if you do like the blind stats, or like, guess who that they match up pretty evenly.
Yeah.
And I feel like they have similar demeanors too. With like the kind of just like proud leader.
Right.
I feel like Kirk Cousins has the like respect.
He does.
Of the locker room though.
Absolutely.
I don't know if
him.
Do you get to see that in the quarterback show?
Yes, you see that. He says, you like that because they all love that stuff.
I mean, last year with the chains,
like they love him. He embraces that. He does a good job embracing it. But yeah, man, like you hear Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase just completely disrespected Pat Mahomes to back up his quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty wild. That's wild, but I feel him. And there's a rivalry there with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs, which, Pat Mahomes, I like how he responded on ring night and stuff. And that's great for the NFL and for sports.
Definitely.
But like, where do you draw the limit of being realistic and being a good teammate? And it's whatever. It's good sports talk, but I don't mind what Justin Jefferson said, but there might be some people in that Minnesota locker room that do.
I think it'd be a lot different if it was college football. If you had a receiver of Texas being like, oh no, Caleb Williams, that's the best quarterback in the nation.
Yeah.
I would have much more issue with that. I mean,
yeah.
The NFL, at the end of the day, it's a business. You could end up be playing with that dude, and 2 weeks you get traded just like that.
That's a good point.
It's I have to have some mutual respect, but I also think the Jamar Chase, Patrick Mahomes things. That's the NBA-fication of the NFL.
Yeah,
they're trying to lean into those little Twitter spats and such in the offseason.
And I like it. Like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they go back winning national championships at LSU and stuff. So they have
that's
a
good. I mean, that's
deep relationship.
That's the number one rivalry in my mind in the NFL right now. Like the most fun to watch.
I agree. I think,
even though it's not a traditional rivalry,
I think coming up, it can't. We'll get to what I think coming up.
Okay.
We'll get to what I think coming up on the rivalries, in the NFL. What do you think is the best rivalry right now? We're not saying, the classic Bears versus, Packers and stuff. We know those are great rivalries. But
it could be one of those.
Yeah, Jordan Love, Justin Fields. What's the best rivalry now? Let us know on the Specs text line, 512-337-3776. Fun football talk and sports talk already with Ty Henderson. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. Follow me on Twitter, @_Zay. I am Zay Collier. Chad Hastings still on vacation. We'll be back Monday. This is The Horn.
Fantasy football season is around the corner, and we're giving you a chance to win a Golden Chick gift card to get you started. Visit the contest page right now at hornfm.com and register to win a $50 Golden Chick gift card. Fantasy football season is gearing up, and Golden Chick is perfect for your war room. Golden Chick, the home of golden combos, family meals, individual snacks, and party packs. Fantasy football season is here. Visit the contest page at hornfm.com now to win a $50 gift card to Golden Chick.
One of America's top golf destinations is at Horseshoe Bay Resort with the famed Texas Triangle of Slick, Apple, and Ramrock golf courses. Play Slick Rock's famous $1 million hole over 2 waterfalls. In pristine shape every day, the Slick Rock course plays along the shores of LBJ. Enjoy championship golf with scenic hill country terrain and panoramic vistas of Lake LBJ at Horseshoe Bay Resort's Slick Rock. Book the Robert Trent Jones Unlimited Golf Package now at hsbresort.com.
Skip the surprise add-ons and hidden fees and come see Henna Chevrolet.
I went to this one Chevy dealer, and they wanted $5,000 over sticker for all these absurd additions that were packaged as add-ons. I came in because of the online price, but apparently that wasn't the actual price, so I left and went to Henna. Long story short, I love my new Silverado.
For crystal clear pricing, find new roads at HannahChevyAustin.com.
Hey, it's Aaron Hogan from my favorite spot, Hayes City Store and Ice House. It's all because of their Scratch Texas comfort food, wood-fried pizzas, chicken fried steak, those truck stop enchiladas, cold beverages, amazing margaritas, 53 beers on tap. Watch your favorite sports on that newly expanded outdoor Ice House, and they're hosting live music on the stage 6 nights a week. Hayes City Store, right there at the intersection of FM 150 and FM 3237 between Kyle and Wimberley. Facebook page for daily specials, complete mouth-watering menu online at HayesCityStoreTX.com.
This is Chad with Dr. Slaughter from Sinus and Snoring Specialist. Dr. Slaughter, let's talk about those whose significant others are snoring. It can be tough to talk about. How do they need to go about it?
Yeah, that's true. It can be difficult to have a conversation with your bed partner about their snoring. Most people that snore are actually being deprived of deep quality sleep and may also have a more serious condition called sleep apnea. They may be physically and mentally underperforming and developing serious long-term health issues like obesity or diabetes, hypertension, even heart disease. If your bed partner is snoring, just tell them that you love them, that you're worried about them, and that the earlier it gets addressed, the easier it is to correct.
Yeah, let's stop the elbowing in the middle of the night and spread the love. Give them a call, set up the appointment for you, for them, or maybe for both. 512-601-0303 or go to SinusSnoringENT.com. Sinus and Snoring Specialist. Feel clear, rested, loved, and healthy.
Folks, imagine selling your home and getting paid twice. I know what you're saying, E, that sounds good, but how's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid 2 times? You can do it with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash for your next home. Orchard handles everything from there, including paint, repair. They'll list and show your home. And if your home then sells for more than Orchard offered you, you get the cash upside. That bears repeating. When your home sells for more than Orchard offered you, you'll get that money too. So you get paid twice. And that happens 97% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this Austin market, with so many home buying companies trying to lowball you, Orchard is the outlier. They pay you on the upside when your old home sells for more. So let me ask you again, do you want to get paid twice to sell your home? I know I would, but how's that even possible? So learn how to get paid twice and get a free valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. One more time, Orchard.com.
It's the #1 preferred gentlemen's club in all of Texas.
Palazzo.
Your premier location for world-class entertainment and those famous tantalizing Palazzo girls. When it's time to unwind, it's time for Palazzo Happy Hour. 7 days a week from 5 till 8 with $4 domestic beers and $5 you call it. Mondays and Wednesdays, lunch through dinner, the 5-star Palazzo kitchen features a sizzling steak, fries, and salad for just $8.99. Wow, only $8.99 for a tender, juicy steak and sides. And don't miss Super Spin Tuesdays with $69 bottles open to close.
Palazzo.
There's free cover for ladies every Thursday at Palazzo. And guys, Palazzo is the favorite bachelor party destination in Texas. Ask about complimentary limo service for any big party. When it's time to celebrate, you know where to go.
Palazzo.
On Ben White Boulevard in the heart of Austin. Just minutes from downtown.
Chad and Zay.
I don't know if anybody has ever sounded more cool moaning on a rap song than Master P. Welcome back to Chad and Zay on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. I am Zay Collier. Ty Henderson's in the building. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. Follow me on Twitter, @_Zay. Ty, you mess with Master P?
Oh,
Master
yeah,
P
big
guy?
time.
Yeah?
I mean, I like any Southern rap.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
Louisiana got that covered.
Yo, man. Those battles, No Limit versus Cash Money, they weren't like battling. They weren't really dissing each other, but it was always a battle because New Orleans is small.
Yeah.
So, you know,
the rap scene can only.
Yeah, you know, and both of those guys moved. I want to say Birdman and Cash Money, they were in Miami a lot, and Master P was in Houston and California. I want to say that's a big reason why he got Snoop on the squad, which when they got Snoop, that took them to a whole nother level because Snoop, you know, somehow Master P finessed Suge Knight Like, that's a tough dude to finesse. Suge Knight, you know what I'm saying? Suge Knight don't play at all. So Master P, we know he's a businessman, and we know his relationship with Ricky Williams. He's also low-key a cheater. I've never told this story on air. So 5th grade, 2001, or I think maybe I was in 4th grade playing up in 5th grade. AAU Nationals, Cocoa Beach, Florida, and I've been seeing NBA talent since I was a kid. Like in that AAU Nationals tournament, Brandon Jennings was in that tournament. I remember seeing him play. Didn't know it was Brandon Jennings. Kind of figured that out like 5 years later and kind of put the face to the person. And he was a lefty. And, we ended up playing them. And somehow we beat his team. And he was obviously the best player.
He was the number 1 player in the nation. Class, right?
Yeah. Ended up going overseas. And he was one of the first to go overseas and say, this college thing, we ain't making no money. It was around 2007. So he was trying to make that paper, and it worked out for him. If he didn't get hurt, he'd probably still be playing. Lance Stevenson was also in that tournament. His team won the whole thing. He played on Team Next with Urban Walker, who went to Florida. I want to say he's related to Kemba Walker, but yeah, they're from New York, and he was ridiculous. But the team they beat, Ty, was the P. Miller All-Stars, Master P's team that he coached with his son, Little freaking Romeo. You remember Little Romeo?
Is that his son?
Yeah, it's his son, the rapper. That's his son, Romeo Miller. Yes, that's his son.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and he could shoot it, but they had, again, this was 5th grade. They had dudes that were 14 on the team. Grown-ass men, mustaches, beards, and stuff like that. Like a dude had a Spencer Dinwiddie goatee.
Like, did as a kid, as a 14-year-old kid, how do you feel about that?
Master P.
When you're the one that you're cheating, it's like, do you think in your head like, oh, I'm balling out right now?
You know how cheap it was, Ty? This fool Master P and Little Romeo performed at our little banquet. You have a banquet before every AAU Nationals. There's a banquet where basically it's kind of like Herm Edwards, the rookie talk. They give you a talk.
Y'all at Master P.
Yeah. They were like, okay, guys, after this talk, and we tell y'all to stay in school and don't do drugs and all this other blah, blah, blah stuff. Now we got Little Romeo and Master P performing. This dude's performing, make him say, Little Romeo's performing and stuff. I'm awesome. Hype. I'm 10 years old. I'm hype. Then years later, I put it together like, yo, how cheap was that? Like, that's some serious cheating stuff right there. It was very sketchy that Romeo got to perform and then played in the tournament because, again, it's national, so everybody's good to a certain point. Like, there's tiers to this, but their path was a lot easier than others that were in the tournament. They're probably playing teams from, Nowheresville, Delaware, and stuff like that, while we're playing Brandon Jennings.
I had a similar experience one time in Las Vegas in a 7-on-7 tournament where we played Snoop Dogg's team. And he wasn't there, but one of his sons was on the team, and they had a bus that was like Snoop Dogg branded.
Oh yeah.
And it was pretty sick, but we beat them, but they were like they were like, oh, hey, can we get a picture? We're taking pictures with all the teams we beat on the way to the championship. And we were a Westlake team that just it was like it wasn't related with the high school directly. It was like a parent-led 7-on-7 team. And they just definitely looked at us like, oh, we're going to cream these white boys.
Oh, yeah. They had no respect for y'all. Zero.
They literally said, we're getting a picture with every team we beat on the way to the championship. We're like, all right,
disrespectful.
We'll give you a picture. Yeah. And then by the end of the game, they were trying to fight me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I was a bit of the enforcer. I went from playing O-line to 7-on-7 in a 1-year span. So you can imagine how that looked.
But. Oh, yeah. Those brothers, they weren't trying to lose you white boys and stuff, especially since y'all are pulling up Ranges and Lamborghinis and stuff like that.
We were in Vegas. It was an Uber to the...
Okay,
I think this might have been before Uber even, but...
They didn't see the fruits of the Westlake labor.
Before Vegas, before you're 21, that was the first time I'd ever been. And obviously I wasn't. I was like 16. That was the worst experience. Never take your kids there.
Really?
Until they're... of age.
I love Vegas when I went there for basketball tournaments. Yes.
What, just messing around the hotel and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, we would cut up. I mean, there's things that you could do. We stayed downtown.
We were trying to figure out how to get hookers for a while.
Oh my Lord.
We're like, who's gonna be the guy that calls? knowing well that it was never actually going to happen, but the whole idea of it was pretty cool for a 16-year-old.
Yo, I've always thought it was crazy. Like, they have mad tournaments in Vegas, basketball tournaments, and obviously the NBA G League's there. But for AAU and select ball and stuff, I had no idea when I was in high school Vegas was the spot. Like, those were some of the biggest tournaments.
I mean, what's the new eyeball thing? I'm sure they'll have stuff in there.
Right.
That's like a venue of sorts, right?
Yeah. That's very cool. So, yeah, man, little throwback to memory lane. Master P, you're a legend, but you're also a cheater, dog. Don't think I will ever forget that. Yeah, it was 20 years ago, but yeah, y'all were cheating y'all's ass off in Cocoa Beach, Florida, AAU Nationals.
Was your pops the coach of your team?
Yeah. Oh, man, he was. We were in a way cheating because CC is like elite level coaching, like high school IQ, and think about him coaching against fifth graders and like other AAU coaches and stuff. Like it was like some Greg Popovich type stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was completely out coaching everybody. That's how we rolled on and got 12th place out of 144 teams.
When I was playing, sorry to continue this walk down
memory
lane,
good.
But when I played for the Southwest Dogs growing up because I lived off Brody Lane
already.
And I grew up with Kamali Akina, Dwayne Akina's one of his sons. So he would always come and like coach us, and he could tell that it would just piss him off because I mean, you're used to
he came from like the Bowie area.
He's used to coaching the Texas DBs, and he's come to us, and he's like, oh.
Yeah,
I can't do this guy. I'm just gonna stand on the sideline. Like we're like, come on, Coach Akina, like help us out.
Well, Coach Akina's kids went to Bowie.
Yeah, well, before they moved
back to Stanford.
Yeah,
he went to
like
Stanford and stuff.
Kamali, he went to like Clint Small, one of those middle schools or whatever.
Yeah, I think he went to Bowie for maybe a year or so, and then
his older brother is probably around your age, though, right?
I don't remember him.
He went to Northern Arizona, played quarterback there. But
okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think
that's good family though.
Bowie.
Coach Akina's a good guy,
very good guy, and he's a legend. If you ask anybody from Rod Babers to Michael Griffin, all those guys, they give Dwayne Akina so much credit for how good he made those teams. Like, he's a big reason why DBU became DBU here at the 40 Acres. His coaching and his guidance and stuff, elite level.
Is he still at Stanford?
Secondary. I don't know.
I feel he's got to be pretty old. He's got to be pretty old at this point.
Yeah, somebody let us know. Specs text line 512-337-3776. Ty, I wanted to get your thought on, since you're a Cowboys fan, the Zach Martin situation. Zach Martin, if you don't know, the guard for the Cowboys, he will not be reporting to Cowboys training camp because he wants to renegotiate his contract with him being the best guard in the NFL. You could ask Madden. You could ask him being an All-Pro last year. You could ask the rankings for guards from the execs, coaches, players, and just different scouts. Everybody has Zach Martin number one, and he isn't getting paid like a number one guard. And I think it's because of his age. He's making $14 million, and you got guys like Chris Lindstrom and Quentin Nelson making $20 million. And out of all the linemen in the league, he's 31st, and getting paid.
He needs more money,
even with him being 32.
Yeah, I mean, you can play high-level guard until your mid-30s.
Okay,
I say if you extend him for 3-4 more years, I'd feel comfortable with that. I mean, his injury, he doesn't really have a very strong injury history. I know he missed a few games, 2 years ago, he started games at right tackle. That's a guy that I noticed as a Cowboys fan. If he's not playing, the offense is completely out of funk.
Yeah.
So I think I think this is part of the reason why they kept that little extra cap space. Because they've been talking to the Nuke Hopkins, Dalvin Cook's the Cowboys have some of the most cap space, but you need it for situations like this.
Yeah, and this season you can't have him disgruntled. This is your best opportunity to get to Vegas and play for a Super Bowl. Now, I know a lot needs to go into it, but that's for every team in the NFL. Everybody has to be clicking on all cylinders, and you need a little luck to go with that. But if you're Mike McCarthy and you said what you said early on after the season when Kellen Moore got the boot, and now he's in Los Angeles with the Chargers, and you said we're going to be more run-focused this season. And if you're Zach Martin and you hear that, that means that's more responsibility for you.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you know, you don't have guys in that running back room that you could really trust over the course of the full season, including the playoffs. And I'm including Tony Pollard. Like, with him getting hurt last year and now Zeke's gone, and
he's never been a lead back.
Yes, he's never been the bell cow running back.
Even
I know
college.
that's a way. Yeah, what, at Memphis?
Yeah,
he wasn't that.
Him and Darrell Henderson.
Exactly. So now Ronald Jones, okay. Deuce Vaughn, yeah, we love him. I mean, you know, coming from Cedar Ridge, definitely love him.
Malik Davis is a name to look out for.
I always had liked him a little bit. I didn't think he got enough run last year. I thought he should have got a little bit more run than Zeke at times.
I mean, that dude, he started over Dameon Pierce at Florida. So talking about, you know, Tony Pollard, Darrell Henderson splitting time, he got more carries than Dameon Pierce at Florida.
Yeah, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans are probably wondering, why aren't they making a move on Dalvin Cook? And you know, if, like you're saying, if they think Malik Davis could step up and be that, you know, thunder and lightning along with Tony Pollard, then who knows? But at the end of the day, it rides on Dak Prescott.
They're both Davis and Pollard, very similar players, though. I mean, Davis is what, like 5'9". Tony Pollard, he's a taller guy, but he's still not. We're going to be missing a little punch within the running back.
Yeah, there's no bruiser,
and I don't count on Ronald Jones to even make the roster. I'm being honest. Even though I was in a Madden online franchise with him last year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
How'd that go?
Oh well, Jacob Standard, who you know does video here at the station.
Yeah, shout out Jacob.
He invited. He's like, oh yeah, I'm in this Madden league with these guys up in Dallas. They have a podcast network, whatever. They like record all their games. They have this big Discord, and then he's like, oh, I figured out like that it was like RJ, you know, 2K20 or I don't know. It's similar to Ronald Jones, and it's like, yeah, that's Ronald Jones, and he whooped my ass like 85-7. Took it for. I had to quit the league. You know, I thought I was decent.
Oh my gosh!
And these dudes were like, no mercy. Like Ronald Jones put up like 80.
Yeah. See, he has a different advantage than you do.
But there was one week they were like, hey man, like at I think it was the Chiefs. It was like at Chiefs. Like, hey, can we play today? And he's like, nah, bro, I got a game. He's like, yeah, no, you're playing me. He's like, nah, I got a game. I'm playing for the Chiefs today.
Oh, yo, he finessed that ring.
But in my head, I was like, you're not playing today, Ronald. Come on, you got time.
Yeah, he finessed that ring.
Seriously.
I dig guys like that. Just jump on the team anytime.
Did he get a ring with the Bucks too?
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah. So he's iced out.
Got 2 rings.
Yeah, he's iced out, man. He should thank Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady for the rest of his life. But that's Ty Henderson. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. I am Zay Collier. This is Chad and Zay. Chad Hastings on vacation. We'll be back Monday. This is The Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. Stream at hornfm.com.
Bucky and Aaron.
Did y'all do call-ins every week with Mac Brown when he was coach?
That's a different story. We had planned that. Do we have to go back to 2000? Does that have to happen? We had planned to have Mac Brown on the show every week, yes. We had Mac planned. This was 2000. We were in the afternoon that time. Remember, we were doing the afternoon show, so Mac was going to come on in the afternoon. Let's just say they lost to Stanford. We were doing the post-game show.
We had meetings.
We weren't very nice, and then that went away.
We were never mean.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 10 on The Horn.
Hey, it's Eric for Divided Sky Roofing and Solar, your full-service solar company. We're into summer, the hottest season, and the power bills are going through the roof. Stop paying the power company. Pay yourself with the new Timberline Solar Shingle Roof. John Hardy and his staff at Divided Sky are solar experts. They can repair and service your existing solar roofing system and are NAPSET certified. That's the solar version of a master plumber. Divided Sky Roofing and Solar. Find them online at DividedSkyAustin.com. Texas license TECL 37397.
Be the envy of all your friends this year by calling AV Consultations. Everything you need for the entertainment system of your dreams. And you don't have to shop for a TV and then the surround sound and then all the mounts and equipment needed to make it all work. Tom and his guys will bring everything you need and they'll set it up. Audiovisual Consultations is one of the largest dealers of most televisions and audio brands. They have all the hottest items in stock. Not only is Tom stocked with the hardest to find smart TVs and Sonos audio equipment, he's not raising prices like a lot of others have. Audiovisual Consultations, 512-255-8678. Call them today.
Don't miss the sizzling summer sale going on now at Crestview RV. Every new RV marked down for summer fun. Crestview RV in Buda, I-35 South, exit 220 next to Cabela's, and in Georgetown, I-35 North, exit 268. Online anytime at CrestviewRV.com.
Hey, it's Aaron Hogan. Bud Light is my choice, and it should be yours. Bud Light brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun, because where there's fun, there's going to be a Bud Light, or maybe a couple. Every bottle, every can, every draft of Bud Light uses 4 simple, high-quality ingredients to create that clean, crisp taste. Bud Light is also the official domestic beer of the University of Texas Longhorns. And all the summer events throughout Austin, Texas. The Round Rock Express will be back at the Dell Diamond soon. Another homestand, cold Bud Light with a ball game. Perfect, especially on a fireworks Friday. Always be safe and smart. Be an adult with your adult beverages, but do it with a nice cold Bud Light. The colder the better.
O'Reilly. Does your vehicle have over 75,000 miles? Get maximum high mileage engine protection with Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $34.99. Limit supply. Ask for Syntec High Mileage at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's the perfect time to transform your home or business with fresh new color. The team at CertaPro Painters of Greater Austin handles every detail worry-free from start to finish. CertaPro Painters is a painting service you can rely on here in Austin, whether painting inside or out. John Bunnell and his team are ready to protect and beautify your space with a fresh coat of paint. Go with the pros at CertaPro Painters of Austin. Get your painting project started today at CertaPro.com.
That's Certa with a C.
Ironworkers Local 482, building Central Texas since 1935. You see their skilled craftsmanship every day with Austin iconic landmarks like UT Memorial Stadium and the Pennybacker Bridge. Ironworkers Local 482 Union is hiring 3,000 people right now for a huge new project. Enjoy full benefits, a pension, and a rewarding career. Becoming a member of Ironworkers Local 482, you accept the challenge to give your best each day while shaping Austin's economic development. Apply today at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org.
Folks, Relax the Back embraces a holistic approach for a healthier lifestyle based on 35 years of proven expertise, and my back has never been happier. Get $500 off select massage chairs. Get fitted for the right size pillow that helps you sleep without a kink in your neck. Save up to 25% on all select pillows. In Bee Caves at the Hill Country Galleria across from the Whole Foods, and in Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center across from the Container Store. Live like the buck, pain-free with Relax the Back.
Hey Austin, Craig Way here, telling you now's the time for life-changing LASIK. Don't let a busy summer schedule get in your way of clear, hassle-free vision. Schedule your free consultation at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and enjoy all of your favorite summer activities without the hassles of contacts or glasses. Sharp Vision offers LASIK starting at $495 per eye and guaranteed financing. That's right, guaranteed financing. And for a limited time, get up to 2 years interest-free financing on your life-changing LASIK procedure. Go online or give Sharp Vision a call and schedule your free LASIK consultation today. Voted Austin American Statesman's best of the best corrective eye surgeon 3 years in a row, Dr. Nicholas Lancaster and the team at Sharp Vision are ready to make your contacts and glasses a thing of the past. For LASIK starting at $495 per eye, guaranteed financing approval, and up to 2 years interest-free financing, go online or call to learn more. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK, official LASIK provider of Austin FC.
Chad and Zay.
Wrapping up the first hour on a Friday, July 21st. Chad and Zay on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. I am Zay Collier, Chad Hastings on vacation. So I'm joined by Ty Henderson, Texas guy Ty on Twitter. And yeah, I had to troll Ty a little bit because Ty is a huge LeBron hater. So I had to, rock the LeBron shirt today.
It's one of the first things I noticed when I saw you today. I couldn't believe.
Oh man,
is that like an old LeBron James logo?
Oh yeah,
is that still what he?
That's still the logo.
Really?
Yeah,
definitely an old shirt.
It's an old shirt. This is like Miami.
That was
Miami era.
You just can't. You can't diss my boy Dirk like they did, coughing in the tunnel.
What do you mean? If that didn't happen, y'all might not have that ring in 2011. That lit another fire into the team and Dirk. That's bulletin board material, in my opinion, because he still talks about that to this day.
I'm still talking about it. Pissed me off.
He should. It should piss you off, though, because, again, y'all came up. Y'all won the championship. And, if that didn't happen, like, everybody should be motivated in the NBA Finals for obvious reasons. But just any extra motivation can help. Like, ask Michael Jordan. He got pissed off for walking in the restaurant, seeing George Karl before the 96 finals, them having the North Carolina relationship, George Karl knowing Dean Smith and such, Jordan playing for Dean Smith, and Jordan said, what up to him? And George Karl didn't even acknowledge him. And Jordan said, okay, all right, cool. I got something for your ass, Sean Kemp, Rain Man, Gary the Glove. Everybody gonna get it. And he got his full ring because of it. So that coffin thing is iconic for the Mavs in a good way.
And that was the last, maybe Toronto, similar team to win, but like the last team without one of the biggest stars in the league, without like LeBron or Steph Curry or Jokic this year. I feel like that was more of an old head, like Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, Deshaun Stevenson, Brian Cardinal, like Jay Terry.
Brian Cardinal!
Oh, man.
Peja.
Oh, Peja. I modeled my jump shot after Peja.
Did you really?
He's my favorite player ever.
So you
Dirk.
would shoot that thing behind your head a little bit.
Yeah, with the kick out.
Yo, his jumper's so pure. I
was really hoping his son would go to Texas.
Yeah.
Where's he? He's going to Stanford.
Stanford, yeah. By the way, somebody said Dwayne Keenan, he's coaching at Arizona now.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think the family lives out there.
Yeah. Going back to our first segment where we talked about what's the best NFL rivalries right now, and you said tie Bengals and Chiefs, that's the best one, and I agree. We got some people on the Specs text line saying Kansas City versus Buffalo. I can't knock that, especially their battles, and I always think about Stephon Diggs just standing there at Arrowhead on the field like 20 minutes, it seemed like, after the game was over, and just taking in the loss and that feeling that they had not getting to the Super Bowl and watching Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce hoist that AFC Championship trophy. So I get that. This season, though, and a lot of people have said this, these two teams, but especially this season, and kind of like what we talked about in that second segment, Ty, the Cowboys and Eagles, man. Like,
that's probably the most traditional rivalry that's still, it's still there. Both teams are on a yearly basis usually pretty good.
Both teams arguably are going to be fighting to get to the Super Bowl. Like, I put the Eagles first in the NFC, San Francisco, and then the Cowboys. But I think Cowboys are right there. They are right there, in my opinion. And with the moves Steven and Jerry made this offseason, bringing guys like Hooks over, keeping Dan Quinn, bringing Stephon Gilmore over, a lot rides on that. Big Mike, he's got to be him and Dak, they got to be in sync with the play calling. It's something about, which I think about it with Steve Sarkisian, it's something about a head coach calling plays and also worrying about everything else that comes with a head coach. And when you're at the University of Texas and you coach the Dallas Cowboys, and just how much attention you get.
You got to be next level.
You got to be next level. Exactly.
Let's say some coaches that do that. What, Sean Payton?
Yeah.
He's next level.
Yeah, but New Orleans doesn't get that attention now Denver, they don't get that attention that the Cowboys do.
The ability to actually do it successfully.
For sure.
Without the attention makes it even harder.
That's the thing.
Is that your point?
That's kind of my main point. Like, can he deal with all the crap that goes in? Same with Sark. He's still dealing with it. 5-7, 8-5. Okay, better, but still, can he deal with that? In the last year in the Big 12 going to the SEC. It's same thing for Mike McCarthy. So, yeah, man, the Eagles, Cowboys, I think that's going to be iconic for years to come. Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, like that rivalry's
I'm
there.
still not sold completely on Jalen Hurts. I know I'm laughing saying it because it's ridiculous because he was MVP candidate last year, but I want to see 2 years in a row.
Okay. That's
I
fair.
know right now, yeah, you're better than Dak Prescott, but I want to. If you're going to get to that Mahomes, Josh Allen level, I don't even think he's on that Justin Herbert level yet. In my eyes. Just as a pure quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he has so many weapons, and now with change, with Justin Herbert, he's going to go through his change too, having Kellen Moore there. But now your offensive coordinator is gone in Philadelphia. And even
Both the coordinators are going there.
Exactly. And even though Sirianni, who he calls the plays,
that guy.
even though he calls the plays,
That guy is
like,
the worst.
can he adjust Jalen Hurts? Can he adjust to the loss of a couple of guys? Defensively, they lost Hargrave, Gardner Johnson. He's in Detroit. So that's going to set them back too, which I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to.
Hopefully teams can start to figure out that QB sneak deal this year too. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, can the Cowboys not run that?
Yeah. Let's get to that.
Seriously?
Let's get to the crap bag.
Chad's crap bag.
Crap bag. If you need an easy way to remember it, just think of a bag of crap.
Yeah, everybody and their mama hates that QB sneak in the National Football League, except for Eagles fans. The crap bag brought to you by Audiovisual Consultations, 512-255-8678, or go to avconsultations.com. And a little NBA talk right here. DeAndre Ayton, the big man for the Suns, is kind of in the hot seat as a player, if you want to say that. And he was interviewed in his home in the Bahamas, and he kept it real. He understands where he was at. He understands his season last year wasn't up to par. Damn sure wasn't up to par for a former number one pick. And I wouldn't say he's a bust, but he hasn't lived up to what we thought he was going to be coming out of Arizona. And he told the news in the Bahamas, "I can feel the whole world hating me. My goal this whole summer, is to change the narrative." And it's a lot easier to change that narrative when you have a lot more weapons on the team, getting rid of Chris Paul, who's washed, and now bringing in Bradley Beal to go along with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So overall, their roster's still a little, I don't know, like Bol, if he's your next best player after that, that's tough. If he's your sixth man, I don't know. Like,
they traded Campaign too, right?
Yeah, he's with the Spurs now. They got Eric Gordon from the Clippers, and he was with Houston too, and that's good veteran leadership. But I don't know, Ty, like, it looks good. That's a really good big three if you're looking at Beal, Booker, and KD. But I don't know if that's going to get them over the hump to
I don't
beat
have
the
much
Nuggets.
faith in this team.
I think they're the next best team in the West, right there with Denver. And I think, kind of like just talking about with Gardner Johnson and Hargrave leaving in Philadelphia, I think that Bruce Brown being traded to Indiana, that's going to hurt them a little bit. I don't know if Christian Brown will be able to step up. I think that's what they're counting on, Christian Brown to step up and be what Bruce Brown was this year. But Bruce Brown was huge for the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. And now that's more pressure on Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. So, again, like going back to Phoenix, like, I don't know if they need more on the bench because KD, he's up there in his mid-30s now. He can't be clocking in over 35 minutes a game.
He's probably not even clocking over 35 games next year in the regular season. What? I guarantee you.
Why are you saying that?
Because he doesn't play.
Because load management.
No, I'm talking he'll get hurt.
Oh, man, come on.
I don't want him to. I love KD, but it's just, like history repeats itself.
He's had... When he just slipped and busted ass in warm-ups.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's on a different team.
Stop.
By mid-season.
Stop. Come on.
I wouldn't. I mean, do you think 2 years ago when he was in the conference finals with the Nets, do you think we'd be at this point where we are right now? With literally every player that was on that team is gone?
Yeah.
Except for Nick Claxton.
Yeah. I think he'll be on the Suns the whole season. But I do get your point. He has demanded trades multiple times, and we know his, path in the NBA is different from others. But I think he's going to stick this out because I think him and Booker are really tight. I always see them on FaceTime together and stuff.
He'll play for at least one more team before he retires.
Damn.
I guarantee that.
Wow.
And I also like Golden State more than Phoenix. I think they're the second best team.
Wow, interesting. With Chris Paul and no Jordan Poole, which I think I would have rather have Jordan Poole than Chris Paul. I'm not saying for a career. At this point of Chris Paul's career, 38 years old, and Jordan Poole,
he has to give you minimal. You just have to keep him healthy. And he
how you feel about KD is how I feel about Chris Paul.
No, he's not going to be healthy.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But he doesn't have the pressure that he had in Phoenix on his shoulders.
True.
He can be that sixth. He's going to start, but he's going to play with the second unit.
If you're Steve Kerr, that's a bad move. And I don't think Steve Kerr, I think he has
him
enough backbone.
Bench?
Yes. I think he has enough backbone to let Chris Paul know and respect because, Steve Kerr's been around the block. Obviously, he's won as a coach, but going back to the Jordan days and going back to his Spurs days, winning rings with him and being under Pop and Phil Jackson, I think Steve Kerr could go to Chris Paul in a very respectful way and let him know, bruh, you got to come off the bench.
Well, I mean, I think that would work, though, with all those young guys they have that have had a little bit of trouble getting going.
Because Clay can't guard like he used to.
No.
And he can't guard threes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Clay's on a different team by the trade deadline.
Wow.
Think about Sacramento. Think about Dallas.
That would be crazy. Because talk about a guy that loved Golden State. I think it'll be really hard.
He's going to be the
first.
He's going to be the first one to go. Unless I think there's a chance they all stay there for their entire careers, which would be crazy. I don't think we've ever seen that before in the NBA.
Right. I like it. He is Ty Henderson. I am Zay Collier. We'll be back for hour 2. This is The Horn. Chad and Zay, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. Stream it at hornfm.com.
From the UBO Business Services Studios, you're listening to KTXX-FM and HD1 BK, KTAE-AM Elgin, K270CO Round Rock. Light the Tower with Craig Way and Jeff Howe.
Mac Brown joins us.
I remember when Coach Royal was struggling with dementia. I went to see him, and he knew who I was, and he had forgotten a lot of people, and it really bothered me. But one thing he never forgot is the name of a player that walked in to see him, and that really told me something about the influence that you have on the players, but also the influence the players have on you and for the rest of your life.
Weekdays 10 to noon on The Horn.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflow and allowing you to better communicate within your organization and with your customers. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. Great people, great service, endless possibilities.
Hey, it's Aaron Hogan for QC Kinetics, reminding you not to give in to that constant nagging joint pain that you're dealing with. I know a lot of you have gotten to the point where it's just the new normal. It's just the way it's going to be. Nothing I can do about it. Well, you can. Take control and take back the quality of your life with the help from our friends at QC Kinetics. They're amazing non-surgical treatments that can repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your body's own healing agents, highly concentrating them, then putting them right into the area where you have that agonizing pain. Your body will heal itself. You just have to allow it to do so. This incredible non-invasive approach helps you take back control of your body, relieving that pain in your knees, and your hips, your shoulder, or your back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Listen, summer should be the time you're out having fun, making memories, golfing, hiking, enjoying the outdoors. Take control now and start living pain-free again. 512-593-4303 at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. That's 512-593-4303. They have a location in Austin and Round Rock at QC Kinetics, 512-593-4303.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Folks, imagine selling your home and getting paid twice. I know what you're saying, Eeg, that sounds good, but how's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid 2 times? You can do it with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash for your next home. Orchard handles everything from there, including paint, repair. They'll list and show your home. And if your home then sells for more than Orchard offered you, you get the cash upside. That bears repeating. When your home sells for more than Orchard offered you, you'll get that money too. So you get paid twice. And that happens 97% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this Austin market, with so many home buying companies trying to lowball you, Orchard is the outlier. They pay you on the upside when your old home sells for more. So let me ask you again, do you want to get paid twice to sell your home? I know I would, but how's that even possible? So learn how to get paid twice and get a free valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. One more time, Orchard.com.
Tint World Hutto on Highway 79 is your automotive styling center, offering not only window tinting, but any aftermarket accessories to trick out your vehicle, from audio and video systems to amps, car alarms, subwoofers, and remote starts. Tint World Hutto even does leveling kits, steps, bed covers, lift kits, lighting, and backup cameras.
And detailing and ceramic coating, too.
Tint World Hutto in the Round Rock Hutto Business Corridor on Highway 79, 2 miles east of the Dell Diamond. Call 512-553-9292.
Tint World, go Horns!
This hour is brought to you by Apple Leasing, where you only have to pay for the new half of the car or truck, the half under factory warranty, and any make, any model. Click appleleasing.com and see how easy it really is.
Guests on the Horn appear courtesy of the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina Hotline. Vaqueros now delivers and offers curbside pickup. For info on placing your lunch or dinner order, visit vaqueroscafe.com.
Hour number 2, let's get it. This is Chad and Zay. I am Zay Collier. Chad Hastings on vacation. Ty Henderson is in the building, filling in, doing a great job. Follow him on Twitter, Texas Guy Ty. Follow me on Twitter, @that_Zay. This is the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. Great first hour, 2 more to go. And yeah, you know what's funny, Ty? Somebody said on the Specs text line they threw out Sean Marion, who was on that Mavs team in 2011 that won the whole thing. They had one of the purest looking forms of all time in Peja Stojakovic and one of the ugliest forms of all time in Sean Marion.
The flip shot?
Wow. Like that shot, so bad. Which, when you play throwbacks, I know you're a big NBA 2K guy. When you play those throwback teams and you play with like the Suns or the All Suns teams, and you have him and you have an open 3, you better just tap that button.
Oh, yeah.
Because that release, it's just that flick.
In real life, it was
cash. It was cash. Like, he was really fun to watch. Like, when he was bouncy with Steve Nash and stuff on those really good D'Antoni teams, and their kryptonite would always be either the Spurs or the Lakers. Like, they could really go. And Sean Marion, he actually mentioned recently, I don't know what interview or what podcast he was on, but he said, which in a way is right, he kind of paved the way for undersized big men. Guys that are 6'7",
like a Grant Williams type.
Yeah, Grant Williams that are small forwards.
Draymond Green.
Yeah, not too heavy, but around 6'7", 6'6", and could guard 4s and play the 4 because they're so versatile. And yeah, I remember thinking Sean Marion, like, wow, like this is perfect. And Spurs fans, I know you're gonna be salty about this, but if Joe Johnson doesn't get hurt in 2005, I don't know if y'all win that series. And if Robert Big Shot Bob doesn't do, sorry, Patrick Davis, you're my guy, absolutely love you, Baldo Live, producer, you're my dude for sure, and he always disagrees with me because he's a huge Spurs homer. If Big Shot Bob didn't knock Steve Nash into the crowd and David Stern didn't poon out, I'll say that, on his decision because Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw walked on the court and he suspended those guys because they were trying to protect.
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs. They were trying to protect, I don't know, the MVP of the league. He's kind of valuable. If you knock his ass out, which Robert Horry, he got suspended, but who's more valuable, Amari and Boris Diaw for the Suns or Robert Horry for the Spurs?
What was the series at that point?
I don't remember. I know the Suns were in control, though. I want to say the Suns were in control. They went
those Suns teams, that's probably one of the best, like a team that was competent for an entire era, but never, did they even make it to a finals?
No. They always.
And Steve Nash, he never made it.
Steve Nash never been to the finals. No,
that's crazy.
And a big part of that was he would get exposed defensively. As great as he was, one of the greatest passers of all time, I wish he would have shot the ball more. He only averaged like maybe his highest points per game average in his career was 19, maybe. But those MVP years, he was only averaging around 16 points, 15 at times. It might have been 12 assists, 11 assists, and just his impact is why he got the MVPs. I know a lot of people argue that because Shaq and Kobe, they were doing their thing at the time. Shaq with Miami, Kobe with the Lakers, and LeBron was in the league and stuff.
If Mark Cuban would have traded him.
What a bad trade. That's still.
It would have been the greatest white boy duo of all time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what Avery would have done with Steve, Avery Johnson would have done with Steve, would have been a lot different than what D'Antoni did, because, D'Antoni really, took Steve Nash to 7 seconds less. Like, it took Nash to another level. But, man, his D, when Tony Parker would go at him, Tony Parker would go at Steve.
Just put him on
and they would try to hide him. Yeah, they would try to hide him, but then they would have Ginobili in. And
it probably never would have worked with Dirk, considering he's also terrible at defense.
Yeah.
Having two liabilities like that.
Yeah. I'll never forget that game 7, 2006, when the Mavs went to AT&T Center and he had that huge and one on Ginobili to ice the game. Like, that's when I knew, okay, Dirk's a dog. Because
he was disrespected for so long.
Always. A lot of that was because he's European. You always disrespect European guys, which, I talked about this with Keenan yesterday. That's why Luka didn't go number one over the person that we just talked about, DeAndre Ayton, because, he's from Europe. We don't think he's going to be tough enough. He's slow. He's this and that.
Yeah, and Marvin Bagley goes in front of him, too.
Okay. Yeah, and there's still that whole stigma of college basketball. Since we see these guys, we think that it's a better league than overseas, which is complete BS. It's not. Overseas is so much better, so much more talent, grown-ass men.
Yeah, Real Madrid would win every single game, and if they had played as a college.
Yeah, and Luka
threw him in the Big 12.
And Luka dominated that league at 18 years old. Like Juan Carlos Navarro, guys like that, Spain legends, and Pau Gasol, Manu, all those guys, Tony, they weren't dominating like that. And all those guys,
he's different.
Hall of Famers.
He complains a lot. He's got a little bit of
LeBron in him.
Yeah, a little LeBron.
That's
James Harden.
That's who we looked up to growing up. It makes sense.
Oh, I see. Trust me. At those All-Star games, I see LeBron talking to him like, "Get your old ass out of here, LeBron. You're not gonna play with Luka. If you want to come to Dallas, that like when that rumor was going around earlier in the summer, I was like, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but Dallas being interested in LeBron or having interest in them earlier in the season.
Would you like LeBron then?
I would have to.
You would have to?
That's
fair.
It's similar to, in the NFL, I know I'm jumping around here a lot.
No, you're fine. There's no structure. Without Chad, we've had Bucky on. There's no structure there. We literally talked about food for like a whole segment. So yeah, dude, you jump around all you want, my guy.
Yeah. So Johnny Manziel, when the Cowboys were on the clock, the year they drafted Zach Martin, who we talked about earlier, and I was like, damn, is Jerry Jones really about to pick Johnny Manziel right here? Am I going to have to be
he wanted to so bad
Johnny Manziel fan?
And for a split second,
I convinced myself. I was like, okay, I could do this. It'd be a similar. I'm sure I'd be able I'm sure I'd like LeBron if he was on the Mavericks, but
yeah,
it would be weird for me.
Yeah,
I liked him when he went back to Cleveland.
I like that too.
I had some. I was like, all right,
yeah,
like him and Kyrie together. That was fun.
Yeah, I try to keep it back, just straight basketball. If we're just talking hoops, like how could you not love LeBron? I know what he does off the court, even on the court, like the bitching and stuff, I could get on my nerves too, but Mike used to finesse refs into changing calls. Like MJ used to do that. Like everybody bitch, going back to Reggie Miller and Bird and Magic, just they didn't have as many cameras back then, so you didn't see it as much.
I got you.
But like, yeah, I feel you.
No, the videos of him, like, or the pictures of him where there's like 50 pictures of him just sitting in his locker acting like he's reading a book, but it's the first page. Or him in interviews with like, there's one where he was in England and they were like,
he'll stretch the truth.
And he's like, oh yeah, like Jordan Henderson, yeah, like I was a big fan of his when he was playing for the club, and they're like, oh, you mean he's the captain of the team?
Yeah, he'll stretch the truth. He'll stretch.
It's like, why do you need to? I don't know. In my eyes, he's stuck like thinking like a 18-year-old would.
Yeah, and literally, Austin Reeves said that on the Up in Smoke podcast.
Really?
He was just on with Matt Barnes and
what
Steven
was he
Jackson.
wearing? He was wearing like a choir white like.
He's a Sooner. He's a Sooner. He ain't going to be all there. I talk about it all the time. Those Sooners and stuff and those Aggies, I talked about it with Chad. I love Chad. He'll do some suspect
stuff. They look like they pulled him straight out of the trailer park. He's like, get your nicest shirt, Austin. Got an interview.
He's hillbilly Kobe for real. He embraces it. I like him. I hate that I like him so much, but he's a Sooner, so he's going to do suspect stuff. He can't help it. It's just, the environment that he was in when he was in Norman. But, yeah, man, Austin Reeves said on Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson's podcast Up in Smoke that Bron acts like an 18-year-old kid. Like that's how he carries himself, like a kid, which, we know he's never had a dad or anything. So that's why he's so involved with his kids. And I like that about him. He can go a little overboard at times when he, says, I want my son to go straight to the league. I'd let your son have a life, Bron. He's kind of toned that down a little bit.
I think Bryce will, though.
Bryce has a lot of potential. Bryce, I think Bronny will too.
He kind of reminds me of a young Zay Collier.
Stop. Hell no. I ain't got those genes. I like CC was nice.
Similar build though.
Yeah, but I ain't have that athleticism at all. Like he gets up with ease. It took me a lot just to dunk. That's why Mike Griffin didn't give me that $1,000 that he still owes me from 15 years ago, where the ball went in, Ty. It just rattled around the rim. Like Mike Griffin, rookie year, he thought he was hot stuff. Because if you know Mike, he still thinks he's hot stuff. But he, got that rookie deal, Tennessee Titans. I want to say he went 19th. He came back to Bowie. We were just doing open run in the summer, hooping. So in between games, Mike said, Zay, I'll give you $1,000 right here if you go dunk the ball right now, 2 hands. You know me, bet. $1,000. I'm 15. That go a long way. I go up. It went in, but it was clumsy. It was. I didn't freak.
Did your fingers?
It was like one of those.
Grab the rim.
Yeah, it slipped, but it went in. And
what he said? Nah.
I ain't get that 1,000, and I'm still salty about it. Like at least give me 500. He won't give me no Gigi's cupcakes, none of that stuff. Him or Rakpo got the cupcake thing going on. I ain't getting no cupcakes.
Get a gift card now, at least.
Something, I'll be grateful with something, but nah, Mike, you still gonna be cheap. I'll never forget that.
Could you actually dunk beyond that, though?
Yes. It was just, the pressure was on. I knew the 1,000 was on the line. Everybody was watching and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't a clean dunk. It wasn't a clean dunk. So.
I grabbed rim one time.
See, that's not bad.
My freshman B team. That's it. I played on one competitive basketball team my entire life.
That's like freshman B team. Who was the head coach at the time?
Coach Owen.
Okay.
Who he actually played with my dad. Played football at Westlake with my dad back in the day.
Wow.
So I think he might have, because I didn't make the team in middle school.
Tough.
And then I just made it freshman year.
Where'd you go, Hill Country or
Westridge?
Westridge, okay.
We had some hoopers though.
Yeah. What was that rivalry like, the Hill Country Westridge? Because I know Westlake guys.
It was very different. Like the environments. It's like we were kind of like a little bit of a rattier bunch. Got in trouble a little bit more, and the Hill Country kids were like,
yeah,
a little straighter edge. But then eventually we all got to high school and. Yeah, everyone ended up being the same.
Yeah, of course.
But definitely it was a lot different, and the girls were a lot different too. I remember in middle school.
Yeah, you're gonna make me dry heave with all this Westlake talk.
We had the Cuernavaca kids out there. That's like the hood of Westlake.
Stop! There ain't no hood. What kind of oxymoron is that? The hood of Westlake. I ain't never heard that. I don't think those words have ever been said out of anybody that is from the Central Texas area. The hood of Westlake. Wow, Ty, you really wildin'.
Yeah, shout out to the Querney Rats out there. Love you.
Instead of Beamers and Benzes, we were riding around in Jags instead, huh? Is that the hood? What, you know what I'm saying?
There's like no building codes out there, so you'll have like a huge mansion next to like a trailer.
Oh
it's an interesting dynamic, but it is on the lake, so okay. I guess there's never been a hood that's on the lake. I don't think.
Oh, man, that is great. He is Ty Henderson. I am Zay Carter. Let's get into a little football talk before we get to break, because Justin Fields, man, he has a lot of confidence for a guy that was on a team that was last in their division. Now, I would have a lot more confidence, too, if Aaron Rodgers was out of that division now, but still, like, I don't know if I would take the Bears over Dan Campbell's Lions. I don't know if I would take the Bears over, even the Packers with Jordan Love right now. Like that, that's tough for me to do.
I got to take him over the Packers. Jordan Love is trash.
I can't say he's trash. He hasn't showed us nothing yet. He hasn't really shown us nothing.
He's played. He had like one good half of football,
and that's tough
like
for a guy.
In a meaningless game.
And that's tough for a guy to know that like this is your only shot, because once 12 comes back into play, now he's number 8 with New York. But once Aaron Rodgers comes back, like that's it. There's a comfort level with being the starting quarterback.
Yeah, but he's had 2-3 years to prepare. I don't like,
but you're not preparing if you're not playing. Like the most, like the best, you got to be out there on the field.
You're
to
still
get
practicing
experience.
every week, watching one of the all-time greats.
That don't count, dog.
Yeah, but the feeling of like, I don't think there should be. Yeah, you're going to be nervous, but it's not like you're walking out there week 1 as a rookie expected to be the franchise quarterback. You've had some time to, quote unquote, develop.
True.
Even though you're not playing as much like you're saying.
But he's not like Aaron Rodgers though. Like we don't know.
Yeah, but I'm too young to remember. I remember when Aaron Rodgers started playing, but I don't think the expectations were like, oh, he's going to be as good as he's going to be one of the best ever. I don't think that was.
No, and that's not it for Jordan Love.
No,
either.
but there are like
Who's saying that?
I mean, on Reddit, I try to get into as many communities, just like see. No, I'm not like commenting or posting, but I'm in a Packers subreddit. And they act like this dude is gonna be the next coming of Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah, that's just some Homer stuff.
Well, they've been lucky. I mean, you've had the last 30 years of your franchise like where you've had a Hall of Fame quarterback.
True.
Back to back. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, absolutely. And they would probably tell you they've underachieved with those 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks as good as they were.
2 Super Bowls?
Only 2.
I mean, I'd take it.
Right, you as a Cowboys fan, yeah, I don't knock that either. But I don't know. You're right. I'd probably take the Bears over the Packers.
It's close, though.
I definitely want to take Chicago over Minnesota.
I think the team around Jordan Love is better than what Chicago has, based off the O-line in Chicago is abysmal. But the defense, you still got Jair Alexander and some other guys there.
He's a dude. Alexander's an absolute dude. But Justin Fields, this dude guaranteed that he'll be the first quarterback in Bears history to throw over 4,000 yards this season. Keep in mind, Justin Fields threw for only 2,242 yards last season in 15 games. So, yes, I know they got better. They got a couple more wide receivers there. Justin Fields should be another year more comfortable.
Who did they get?
What's my man's name? Moore.
DJ Moore,
DJ Moore, yeah. That's better than what they had. And
but that's not. They need a guy that's. DJ Moore is just a fly down the field, throw a go route. I feel like they need like a Cole Beasley type.
They really could have used
someone that
Nuke Hopkins.
Yeah, but I think they're going to. I mean, Justin Fields is never going to be a tremendous down the field passer. In my, I don't think he has the. I don't think he has it going on upstairs to read an NFL defense, nor has the, just arm. He has an arm talent from a strength standpoint, but just the putting it on the spot, I don't think he'll ever be able to do it.
But you just said like yourself, like the old line, it not being good. He'll have much time to let guys go downfield.
But you can tell, like, just look. I don't know. This me looking at him while he's playing football. It looks like he's confused. Still,
right.
Still,
he'll have those moments,
and that was the big knock coming out of college with him. It was like, I don't think he can read a defense. At all.
Yeah.
And just listen to him talk. I'm a big listen to the interviews.
You are a big listen to interviews guy. I heard what you said about Quinn Ewers on PND the other day. I was like, dog, he's in college. This is where you learn to talk.
I know, but still, come on, Quinn.
Oh, come on, dog. Dude. But, with Justin Fields, which, at Ohio State and C.J. Stroud, he's going to be going through the same thing. When you have that deep of a wide receiver room, you kind of, think
you can just throw it up.
The way you can just throw it up. Like the Garrett Wilsons and Chris Olave, Jackson Smith, and Jigbas, guys like that, are different. So Justin Fields, all that talent he had around him, which every quarterback wants that. And, you can make guys good, but is it going to be like Matt Leinart or something like that? Who Matt Leinart, we know the talent that he had, but look where he's at. Like, look what happened in his NFL career, which Justin Fields is already better than Matt Leinart. I don't know if that's the right comparison, but y'all catch my drift. I think that he's talking crazy here because he's a running quarterback first. I think he has a lot of upside throwing the football, but I don't think there's enough talent around him for him to go over 4,000 yards this season, and instinct's just going to take over. Once that edge rusher comes to play, like, he's not going to sit and stand in the pocket. No. He's going to take off and try to make something happen with his legs.
And that just doesn't work in the NFL.
Yeah, not all the time.
It doesn't win you Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, who's the last running quarterback with a Super Bowl? Steve
Young?
I wouldn't even consider him running quarterback. He had Jerry Rice.
Yeah, no, we've seen
Russell Wilson.
Cam Newton got there, but the dual threat, it will bite you in the ass with injuries. It's that a long season like that. You're playing 20+ games.
You're right.
You're going to wear down.
Yeah,
and we see that at the end of every year with those guys: Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, two great examples.
Yeah, both of those guys got hurt last year. You're absolutely right. So that's my fear with even Josh Allen. Like he can't keep this up. He can't keep this up.
I mean, you can't tell, like, one of these AFC Championship games when he's barreling down the field, like, the shoulder's going to come out of place when you're knocking dudes around like he does. Yeah, I love the way he runs, though.
Literally,
you got to be a little bit more careful, dude.
Literally, Madden, he's the cover boy for Madden. On, like, their little promo commercial, they have him just running over some dude.
Because he does
that.
It.
Yeah, but, like, that's for your quarterback. You don't want to see that for the long haul.
Maybe like once or twice a year. Just if it's a tone, I like that to set the tone.
Right.
We've seen. I mean, Bam Bam Sam used to do that all the time, but. That's a different type of quarterback.
That is a different type of quarterback. He is Ty Henderson. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. I am Zay Carr. Follow me on Twitter, @that_Zay. Chad Hastings on vacation. This is Chad and Zay on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9 AM 1260. Stream it, hornfm.com.
Ball don't lie.
You don't ever hear about the NCAA denying a transfer?
Right.
No, transfer the hell you want. The NCAA is like, no, we don't want to touch any of it. So they're hands off right now, hoping that it implodes and goes horribly wrong, and everybody cries and runs back to the NCAA and says, please, NCAA, take over. We were wrong and you were right. We'd rather see this whole damn thing implode and go horribly wrong than give it back to the NCAA.
Yep.
Because we all know that was a borderline criminal syndicate.
Weekdays 3 to 7 on the Horn.
Real Texans are genius.
Bud Light salutes you, overly dedicated Texas Longhorn fan.
How come?
You show up to every UT football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, and ball-related sport there is.
Ping pong.
Each game, you slather your entire body in burnt orange.
Every nook and cranny.
Yes, you're brewed in Texas, and so is your Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Texas Edition Bud Light beer cans. Anheuser-Busch, Houston, Texas.
Skip the surprise add-ons and hidden fees and come see Henna Chevrolet.
I went to this one Chevy dealer and they wanted $5,000 over sticker for all these absurd additions that were packaged as add-ons. I came in because of the online price, but apparently that wasn't the actual price, so I left and went to Henna. Long story short, I love my new Silverado.
For crystal clear pricing, find new roads at HennaChevyAustin.com.
Finding a good show to watch is harder than finding a match on a dating app who actually looks like their photos.
What? That's totally me.
Uh-huh. You need Prime Video. You can add over 100 streamers, like Max for And Just Like That, a new chapter of Sex and the City, in the same place you watch the new season of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Prime Video. It's the one app to unite them all. Prime membership and Max subscription required. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime.
It's the #1 preferred gentlemen's club in all of Texas.
Palazzo, your premier location for world-class entertainment and those famous tantalizing Palazzo girls. When it's time to unwind, it's time for Palazzo Happy Hour. 7 days a week from 5 till 8 with $4 domestic beers and $5 you call it. Mondays and Wednesdays, lunch through dinner, the 5-star Palazzo kitchen features a sizzling steak, fries, and salad for just $8.99. Wow, only $8.99 for a tender, juicy steak and sides. And don't miss Super Spin Tuesdays with $69 bottles open to close. Palazzo. Lunch has never looked this tantalizing. Get to Palazzo the first Friday of every month for First Friday Free. First Friday Free. Featuring a free prime rib lunch with all the fixins absolutely free from noon to 3. First Friday Free happens the first Friday of every month for a limited time. Palazzo. Mark your calendar today.
This is Chad with Dr. Slaughter from Sinus and Snoring Specialist. Dr. Slaughter, let's talk about those whose significant others are snoring. It can be tough to talk about. How do they need to go about it?
Yeah, that's true. It can be difficult to have a conversation with your bed partner about their snoring. Most people that snore are actually being deprived of deep quality sleep and may also have a more serious condition called sleep apnea. They may be physically and mentally underperforming and developing serious long-term health issues like obesity or diabetes, hypertension, even heart disease. If your bed partner is snoring, just tell them that you love them, that you're worried about them, and that the earlier it gets addressed, the easier it is to correct.
Yeah, let's stop the elbowing in the middle of the night and spread the love. Give them a call, set up the appointment for you, for them, or maybe for both. 512-601-0303 or go to sinussnoringent.com. Sinus and Snoring Specialist. Feel clear, rested, loved, and healthy.
Ironworkers Local 482, building Central Texas since 1935. You see their skilled craftsmanship every day with Austin iconic landmarks like UT Memorial Stadium and the Pennybacker Bridge. Ironworkers Local 482 Union is hiring 3,000 people right now for a huge new project. Enjoy full benefits, a pension, and a rewarding career. Becoming a member of Ironworkers Local 482, you accept a challenge to give your best each day while shaping Austin's economic development. Apply today at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org.
Chad and Zay.
Welcome back. Chad and Zay coming in with some classic Naughty by Nature, Feel Me Flow. This is Chad and Zay on the Horn 104.9, 101.9 AM 1260. I am Zay Collier. Follow me on Twitter, @Zay, joined by Ty Henderson. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. You know anything about Naughty by Nature?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of my jams. It's a summer jam, right?
Yeah, it's a summer jam, man. Naughty by Nature so underrated. They had some hits, man. They had some hits.
It's all clean too, right?
Oh, I don't know about all that, but it's cleaner than others. It ain't no, Uncle Luke or Two Live Crew.
But
or
it's
anything.
not Will Smith though.
Nah, it's not that bubblegum type stuff. Which don't sleep on Will, man. Even though people can
Summertime?
say, yeah, summertime when he's with Jazzy Jeff. As
I watched
Fresh
that
Prince.
music video yesterday.
Did you
for the
really?
First time. I've heard that song obviously before. I play it as bumper music sometimes, but
Yeah.
the music video, it was pretty cringy.
Yeah. Will's in his bag though, man. Will, what a run that he had from just the rapping to obviously Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I mean, that was my favorite show growing up.
That show is still good. Still classic. That was the first time a lot of people saw Nia Long, and he became his girl. Yeah, like in the later seasons. Maybe season 5 or 6 or so. I don't know for sure, but
Who's the oldest sister? Was it Candace?
Hillary?
Hillary.
Yeah, bad. Oh, she's so bad.
And then what was it?
She's
Ashley
so
was the younger
beautiful. Yeah,
one.
Ashley.
And then
also
Uncle
beautiful.
Phil.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Uncle Phil. Man.
I go back. I see that video on Instagram all the time when they had the real moment about Will's dad because he leaves him and it's you can feel it. Oh,
that might be the most iconic episode of Fresh Prince. Everybody remembers that episode where Will's dad comes back into town and Will thinks that he's going to go on the road with him and his dad how come you don't love me, man? Oh, man. Yo, straight up, Ty.
That was so good.
If it wasn't for that scene, there wouldn't be no Men in Black.
Oh, I mean,
no Independence Day.
Yeah, but that was all real. You felt the realness.
That put him in Hollywood royalty to everyone because everybody thought, oh God, this the kid from Philly. They got this cute show on NBC, but can he really act though? Like we know he's funny. We know he'd be rocking the Jordans. We know he could rap. Can he really act though? And when he hit America with how come you don't love me, man? And gave Uncle Phil that hug, dog.
Oh,
and that should have won.
I got
something.
chills thinking about it. I want to go watch that episode.
Man, it's a tough one. You got to be ready. If you ain't a crier, then that might change your life. Cause that was a very good episode. There was also it got deep too, because everybody just remembers the fun stuff. It got deep, not just that one. There was the episode where Will and Carlton get pulled over in the Benz.
Oh yeah, when they're like
the nice part. And Will, this is like everyday thing to Will because again he's coming from Philly, so he's dealt with these kind of things. But Carlton, growing up in Bel Air, he's never experienced it. And Will and Carlton go back because Will's like, nah, this is real life. And Carlton's like, they're just doing their job and stuff, which, like, I know they're great policemen out there, but we also know some dark stuff that can go on, too. And that episode, like, in 91, 92, when that was coming out, dog, like, Fresh Prince, they did a really good job of being funny, but also dealing with real events. And
because Carlton ended up being the one that was the most pissed off at the end of that episode, right?
No, he was like rattled, like he was confused. Like the last thing that he says in that episode, he asks Uncle Phil, like, "Hey, Dad, you would have pulled us over, right?" And Uncle Phil's like, "I don't know, son. I think about that every day." And then Uncle Phil leaves, and Carlton sits down. And he goes, "I would." So he's like going through his mind of like, was it a racial thing? Was the cop doing his job? Which whatever. But yeah, that's Fresh Prince. Yeah, I agree. That's why
go back and watch.
Show. Yeah, that Martin, Jamie Foxx show. I loved all them shows back then. Even though that was a little before my time, but the reruns and stuff, Call Me Up on Game. Yeah, great time. Let's get to the Flex ATX segment, shall we?
Flex ATX for the best high school sports coverage. Listen to the Horn and go to FLXATX.com. Flex 30 is brought to you by Brain Vault. Brain Vault is a revolutionary and patented mouthguard that has been proven to help reduce the risk of concussion. Visit brainvault.com and join the movement.
All right, Flex ATX segment today. And, with the rivalry, Bowie versus Westlake, and I got a Westlake guy in the building, me being a Bowie guy. Y'all know how prideful I am of being a Bulldog, my dad, being the head coach of the basketball team for 32 years. He just retired, but I don't know, over 3 decades and basically my whole life. So it's still kind of weird seeing Pops retired. And shout out to my guy, Trey Lindsay, one of my best friends who's now the head coach over there. He's doing a great job himself, building his own culture. But Ty, growing up, when that Westlake game came up, which you played twice in basketball, my Pops changed. My Pops changed.
He wanted it more?
It's not like he wanted it more. Yeah, he did. I'll admit, yes, he did. He wanted it. It meant more. And him and head football coach Jeff Abels, they're really close. One of his best friends. So, and Coach Abels has been coaching at Bowie, I think, since it opened. Tommy Cox was the football coach before Coach Abels took over in 2002, I think. I think it was Michael and Marcus Griffin's senior year. But that, like, before maybe 08, 07, Bowie never beat Westlake in football. They got them a few times in basketball, but just, like, not being able to get over the hump, seeing Westlake, all the trophies, all the history. You went to the school, like guys like Drew Brees, and on the basketball side, dealing with guys like Luke Axel, like Chris Mim was 7 freaking foot.
Yeah.
Think about a 7-footer in this area right now dominating, being like a Texas
And
All-American.
he was a big 7-footer too.
Big, like OG big. Like he wasn't what you see now with big man. Like, and he will hit that mid-range shot, but he stuck to the basket, stuck to the block. If you went to the lane, that ball was going to go to the stands. Chris Mim was a very good basketball player. So every time that game came up, and I really experienced it once I became a player for my pops. And I had some big games versus Westlake, but it just meant more. And a huge reason why it means more is because I know you're probably going to tell me Bowie was just another game.
Yeah.
And that drives us nuts. We're like the Texas Tech, and we're like Black and Red to Westlake and like what Texas Tech is to Texas. Like that's how we feel that we get, because y'all used to focus, now it's like Travis, but y'all used to focus on Austin High way more than us.
Well, that's just funny.
And
like,
yeah, y'all used to beat them down too, but they had their players.
They had some good. I mean, when they had the Jones brothers were there, they beat us.
Okay.
I was in like 6th grade.
Wow.
And and Caleb Jones cussed me out because I ever told you the story.
No.
Okay. So so they used to have the pit at Westlake games where all the middle schoolers would go.
Yes,
it's like on
in the end zone.
And I was standing there, like they ran out of the tunnel, and he goes to the end zone to pray or whatever. And I was just, 6th grade me, I was like, yeah, you better be praying. And he came over and was like, you am like just like came up to me, and I was like, oh.
A little kid. That's what I'm saying. That rivalry, Austin High Westlake rivalry, that was thick
I gotta play you the diss track that we made in my senior year.
Stop.
They still play it. They still play it.
That's petty.
It's good.
That's petty. Who made it?
Well, they made one that was terrible, so we had to clap back at them a little bit. Went out to the studio out in Cuernavaca. I was saying the hood out there. And actually, the guy that produced it and made the beat is. That song? It's like la da 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 da. It's like a big TikTok. It has like 500 million views on Spotify now.
Okay.
But so there's an acclaimed producer on it. But it's a good track. It was one of two, but neither of the guys played on the football team. One of them was on the basketball team.
Right.
And all the coaches heard it, and they were like, Coach Lucero was like, "Yeah, don't do that again." But good job.
Yeah, your heart's in the right place, son. Your heart's in the right place.
It was all clean lyrics from him at least, but it was good. And I'll have to play it for you. So I don't think we can play it on the air, but
yeah,
to get a reaction out of you at least.
See, man, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the beauty of high school sports, especially in Texas. Like it means so much. The communities, the rivalries.
I mean, I still care. I feel like sometimes I feel like a loser. Like, I was going to Westlake baseball game. I know I do it for my job, but I also enjoy supporting the community still too.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. When Bowie does well and goes anywhere in football, baseball, basketball, I like to attend too. Like you and I, being former athletes at our respective schools, like we put our heart and souls into that school and we love it. So like I get what you mean on, I also get what you mean by feeling like a lowball loser at times. You're just a grown
we're not Derek. Derek, but love you, Derek. Love you, Derek.
Oh my gosh, man, ride or die.
Yeah, Derek.
Absolutely ride or die. See, this is why it's personal. Somebody on the Specs text line trolling me right now. Zay, in all caps, how the hell is it a rivalry when y'all hardly ever win? See, that's what pisses me off.
Well, it's similar to like how everyone hates Texas in the Big 12. It's like Anderson, their biggest game is playing Westlake, but
yep.
I mean, we scored the most points ever have ever been scored in a Texas high school football quarter. We scored against Anderson my senior year.
How many was that?
It was like 42-0 after the first quarter.
Lord have mercy.
It was bad.
Shout out to Derek texting us right now. Derek, love you, dog. That's Ty talking that mess about you, not me. That's your Westlake brother, not me, man. That ain't me. Shout out to the Flex ATX segment on this Friday, July 21st. This is Chad and Zay. Chad Hastings out of town. Ty Henderson filling in. I am Zay Collier on the horn.
B&E.
You talked about how what'd you give your brother the
sleeper
hold?
Oh yeah.
We used to my brother and I used to try to give each other the figure 4 leg lock.
Oh
yeah, that was always good. And
the sleeper was the best.
And then what'd you say when you actually put your brother to sleep?
He actually went down. His hands went limp. My mom heard me going, "Sleep, bitch, sleep." That dude was being
Calling your brother a B?
Yeah, I said, go ahead. He was out.
Mornings from 6 till 10.
The Horn.
We're mic'd up at Tomfooleries at Kalahari Resorts.
Faster, faster, faster! Look out below! Woohoo!
Winner, winner, turkey dinner.
We have to fight the dinosaurs!
Check it out. She's got all these tickets.
Whoa!
We conquered the mirror maze. That's the sweet smell of victory at the arcade.
Come to Tomfooleries, only at Kalahari Resorts in Round Rock, Texas, and play for the day without booking an overnight stay. Check us out at TomfooleriesAdventurePark.com.
Folks, imagine selling your home and getting paid twice. I know what you're saying, Eeg. That sounds good, but how's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid 2 times. You can do it with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash for your next home. Orchard handles everything from there, including paint, repair. They'll list and show your home. And if your home then sells for more than Orchard offered you, you get the cash upside. That bears repeating. When your home sells for more than Orchard offered you, you'll get that money too. So you get paid twice. And that happens 97% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this Austin market, with so many home buying companies trying to lowball you, Orchard is the outlier. They pay you on the upside when your old home sells for more. So let me ask you again, do you want to get paid twice to sell your home? I know I would, but how's that even possible? So learn how to get paid twice and get a free valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. One more time, Orchard.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert, and the Coverts offer you more than the competition, like 6 GM service locations throughout the Austin area. And to save you time and money, we offer free pickup and delivery for all your service needs. We prove it every day that no one, and I mean no one, gives you the level of service the Coverts do. That's backed by 114 years and 6 generations serving Central Texas. Give Rox or Chance a call and let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop and Highway 79 in Hutto. Find new roads.
It's time to feel good again, but for our neighbors facing hunger, that's a tall order. The Central Texas Food Bank is still facing high demand at this time when increases in childcare costs and energy bills stretch budgets and put kids and families at greater risk of hunger. Donations made this summer will ensure that families have access to food when their need is greatest. So do your part to help hungry families feel good again this summer. Make your donation today at centraltexasfoodbank.org. That's centraltexasfoodbank.org.
Chad and Zay.
Welcome back. Chad and Zay about to wrap up hour number 2 with some Bone Thugs and Harmony. The Cleveland crew, very underrated, needs to be more appreciated. Shout out to Eazy-E for finding those guys. I am Zay Collier, joined by Ty Henderson on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. You a Bone Thugs fan, Ty?
Oh, yeah. They were in town recently, right?
Were they really?
I think. I could be very wrong.
Okay.
But I feel like Nick Shuley might have shared that with us during
Shout
the
out
East
to Nick
update.
Shuley. Yeah, man.
Been doing some good work for us, man.
He has. What was DJ August? I saw that picture. Yeah, mad jealous, bro. Because DJ's my dude. How was that yesterday?
It was cool.
Yeah. You got DJ by a few inches.
I know. I had a few people hitting me up, man. Being like, damn. Maybe you could have played in the league, Ty.
You could have played in the league. Hell no. That just goes to show how incredible him being in the association for over a decade plus.
Played last year.
Ridiculous.
35.
His skill level is insane. Like, I remember when he was with the Magic and they beat the 2019 champion Toronto Raptors, and only in one game, I think. It was game 1. And DJ went off. Like, he's the reason they won that game. Like, he was giving Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet all types
And he was
of
old.
buckets.
He was older.
Yeah,
at
he
that
was
point.
older. And he's bounced around a little bit, but again, at 5'10", his pull-up jumpers money, incredible basketball IQ. And
Yeah,
you
I think
got-
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
There's definitely a respect for him around the league. It's just like, that's a guy you want on your bench, regardless
Yeah.
if he's going to play or not.
And there's so many guys that like know that they lost a step, but they can't like their pride won't let them give the youth game. Like guys coming in, rookie, second-year guys that are just trying to get a feel for the NBA that want to be in the same place as DJ Augustine one day. Some guys like they look at those guys coming in and say, "Oh, you're taking my minutes. Why would I teach you anything? Why would I try to be a leader or a role model and stuff? That's not my job. We're teammates. Go to a coach for that. You go to people in your posse or
People
your
notice that
crowd.
kind of thing,
And they
though.
do. And like what keeps you around is being willing to say, pull guys aside and like let them know, like, hey, bro, I wouldn't do this off the court if I were you. You partying all last night, not a smart move. All the things that you're eating, yeah, you're young, yeah, you're athletic and stuff, but those things might catch up with you. You might want to get a chef. You might want to change your diet up a little bit. You need those veteran guys. And I'm not saying let's go the Udonis Haslem route. That's a little excessive. I don't believe
Is
in
he
that at
done
all.
yet?
I think this is it. But we don't know. Who knows? Knowing Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, they love that son of a bee. And he's just taking up somebody's spot. Like, that's become a coach, bro. Become like one of those player
Seriously.
assistants. Like, you can still get paid. Like, you're not getting on the court. Like, there's levels to it. DJ Augustine, that's that good NBA vet leadership role model that you want to have around. Udonis Haslem, and he just puts on the show too. Like when he's cussing guys out, they always have to put the camera on them, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at the leadership from Udonis Haslem. What a guy in his 20-something year. He's not giving you anything basketball-wise, but you need guys like
he
that."
hasn't given anything in the past 7 years.
You know, like that.
I can't, like, when's the last time he was a legit contributor? Like getting minutes in every game.
I barely remember him during those Spurs series.
He was good the year both times they played the Mavericks, because 2006 he was like a rookie.
Yeah, I
on that
remember
team.
Dirk giving him that work. That's what I remember. And then them saying, "Wow, we have nobody that could check him. I guess we got to put Chris Bosh on him." And you saw what happened. Dirk gave Chris Bosh that work.
So is it confirmed that 2006 Mavericks loss to the Heat was rigged, right? That Tim Donaghy, whatever his name is.
I need to watch that Donaghy special. Like, I've always heard stories
That was
about
the most like free throw differential. Like Dwayne Wade got like 80 free throws in like a 3-game span.
Yeah, and another thing that went against y'all, that was during the 2-3-2 format instead of the 2-2-1-1-1, which it should always be that. Like, this is the NBA. We have money to fly back and forth. Come on now. I get the Magic and Bird era because, again, that's how long's that flight from LA to Boston? Like, it's a 6-hour flight almost.
Yeah.
So I get that being a little much because those were the only two teams going to the finals back then. But in 2006, like, what's the point of being a home court advantage team if I'm going to get screwed in the finals and we have to play 3 straight games against the team that doesn't have a better record?
Yeah, you lose one of those first 2 games, you're screwed.
Right. And Mavs lost all 3.
No, I thought they were up. Well, yeah, they were up 2-0.
They're up 2. Yeah, they lost 3 straight, 3, 4, and 5.
The
Then they
NBA
lost-
wasn't going to let them win the finals. You kidding me?
That's a very sketchy
I was young
time.
for that, but
Yeah,
I remember.
I
remember.
Yeah, that was a very sketchy time.
That was Don Nelson was the coach, right?
No, it was Avery Johnson.
In 2006?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
Because Donnie Boy was over in Golden State. And then the next year, you know what happened there. We believe.
Oh, my God.
We believe. Monte Ellis, Baron Davis, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson. Them boys ran y'all out the gym.
Well, yeah,
What a
they
time.
gave Dirk that MVP because they knew they screwed him over the year before.
Yeah, he deserved it. But, yeah, you're talking about a team full of just guys high on the chronic, running up and down. Like the way.
Hey, I'm a Monte Ellis guy. He played on the Mavericks after that. I always thought he was a very undervalued. Talk about a dude that doesn't play defense.
Yeah. He's not
fast.
like DJ Augustine.
That was one of the fastest people I've ever seen on the basketball court.
Yeah,
Just sudden movement.
Yeah, because when they got Steph Curry, of course he felt disrespected and he didn't want to help Steph. And we know what happened there. Like, front office was like, yeah, the Steph Curry guy is kind of special. And Monte was like, nah, man, we're around the same height. We both like to shoot the ball. We both like it in our hands.
Well, Monte's he's a little different.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a good teammate. And he bounced around the league. I don't know if he's ever won a ring.
Didn't he
Steph
have
Curry,
he has
one
some
of the best point
teardrops
guards of all time.
He has some teardrops, doesn't he?
What, like his game?
No, like his
like tattoo tears. I don't know. I haven't seen Monte recently.
Deshaun Stevenson definitely does.
He does. Yeah.
That dude.
Yo.
He was one of my favorite players.
Oh,
that
man.
was a scary dude.
He was thugging for real.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Y'all had a little bit of everything on that Mavs team.
He
in
balled out in those
2011.
finals. He scored like 22 points in one of the, he had like 7 threes in one of those
because
games.
you always need a dude that's just going to fight you. And he's that dude. That dude that's going to be willing to throw down, which y'all had a lot of others. Tyson Chandler, he wouldn't back down
Brian
to nobody.
Cardinal?
Brian Cardinal. You
The
keep
custodian?
naming him. Stop naming Brian Cardinal.
The custodian. I was at one of those NBA. I was at Game 3. They lost, but Brian Cardinal was at the free throw line, and the entire American Airlines arena started chanting MVP.
That's such a joke. That's a joke. That's an absolute joke.
It was awesome. The Mavericks lost that game. Best sporting event I've ever been to in my life.
Wow. Okay.
And it was from the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Just the NBA, the energy in the room.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. That was a great time, man. Great time in the NBA Finals. Let's get to where we at in society, shall we?
Where are we at in society today?
All right. So this story is absolutely hilarious. So, Ty, do you know the YouTube social media influencer Gideon?
No, I'm not familiar.
I wasn't familiar with him.
Gideon?
Gideon. He spells it Gidion.
It's a him?
It's a him. Yes.
I'm more familiar with the females on the Instagram.
Yeah, me too. I feel you. So this dude, he's absolutely out of control. So he's an influencer, has a ton of followers on all social media platforms. And what he's known for, he's a bit guy. He does outlandish things in places where people wouldn't do them. He makes people very uncomfortable, but it could be really funny.
I love some cringe.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with a little cringe, a little pettiness. As long as you're not disrespecting or hurting anybody, I'm good with it. So this fool, which already in the NBA season, he was shown at, I want to say, a Brooklyn Nets game, he was getting a haircut, like in the second row. A haircut, like faded up. I see you just got a fresh cut. Looks nice, by the way.
Thank you.
And this fool was getting faded up. He had the cape around him and everything. The barber was, people couldn't see over the barber because he was cutting his hair while an NBA game was going on.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened to him there. I think he got a little bit in trouble. I think they just told him to stop and everything was all good. But this fool was at 2 different WNBA games. And he was sitting on the first floor, which go look this up on Twitter. They got the video. It's hilarious. He's sitting on the first row. And in one video, the ball bounces his way. Remember, he's in the stands on the first row, but he's out of bounds. As he gets the ball, the normal person, what would they do? Give it to the ref. Let's keep the game going. What does Gideon do? He pulls the shot. Completely airballs. They kick him out. Boot. Like, dude, what are you doing? Don't shoot the ball. You're making a muck out of the WNBA.
It's probably like 25% of the fans there.
I didn't say it. You did. Which, by the way, is Bucky still doing his
the WNBA
update?
We've been missing it this week.
Ah, man, that's a shame. That's
Brittany
a damn
Griner
shame.
will still win Comeback Player of the Year.
That's his go-to.
Guaranteed.
That's really all he's got. That's not too far off. Like, she's having a really good season. The next thing that he did, which this got him banned from WNBA games, and since the NBA runs the WNBA, it also has gotten him banned from NBA games for the upcoming season. This fool on the first row again took up like 4 chairs, had a blanket, a pillow, and pretended to sleep.
That's funny.
That is pretty hilarious. But it's also so disrespectful because we know what you just said about the WNBA. Basketball's basketball. I get the WNBA. Sometimes it can be hard to watch. I will admit that. But some of those girls are nice.
He bought like 4 seats?
I think so. He probably bought
like
4
$30
seats.
$30 front row?
I'd say 65. Front row, 65 maybe.
All together, though.
Yeah.
Right?
But WNBA, it could be good. You saw Sabrina Ionescu, the 3-point shootout.
I mean,
that's fun. She lit it up. They got some hoopers in there.
Yeah, if that's your thing, sure. It's a completely different game than the NBA.
Yeah,
like
completely different. I know people are out there saying it would be better if y'all lowered the rim to 8 feet. I
No,
don't know about that.
I don't think so.
That's like,
That'd be Globetrotters-esque.
well, I don't think it would. If you take the game seriously, kind of like what they do in Europe. If you go see like AAU ball in Europe for 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds, they're playing on like 7-foot rims.
Yeah,
they're like dunking and stuff. It's really weird, but
I don't think people are ever like there's not a way to force people to like women's basketball.
Yeah,
I mean
tough.
college basketball is different. Going to those games, I engineered for a few games for Craig Way this year.
Okay.
That's the only. I've still never been to a men's basketball game at the new arena.
Oh man, it's dope.
They pack the house for those ladies horns games. So,
yeah,
those are fun. But the WNBA, I mean,
yeah, what Kim Mulkey and they did this past season, like Caitlin
I
Clark,
watched
Angel Reese.
I watched some of the March Madness.
That was must-see TV. You're not getting that in.
I mean, Angel
WNBA.
Reese is a character.
She's amazing.
And then there's also some lookers that were out there too.
Oh yeah.
What were the Cavender twins?
Oh yeah. You and I, we both like the Cavender twins. Yeah, out of Miami. I wish they would have came back, but they'll always be in the limelight. I think they're gonna do some WWE stuff, so look out for that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but that was where we had society today. These fools are cutting up at WNBA games, getting kicked out and stuff just for likes. The world that we live in. Coming up, hour 3, last hour of the show on a Friday, July 21st. I am Zay Collier. Ty Henderson's in the building. This is Chad and Zay on the Horn.
From the UBO Business Services Studios, you're listening to KTXX FM and HD1 BK, KTAE AM Elgin, K270CO Round Rock. Light the tower.
So I was up to 3 scorpion stings, right? Yeah, add 2 more to the list. Come on! So I go to the bathroom so I can get a good look at the welts. I feel something crawling on the back of my head, and the thing falls on the floor. Craig, it was crawling on the back of my head. I just unleashed all kinds of rage on that thing. I woke my daughter up. I go in her room and I'm like in pain. I'm like, Bug, I need your flashlight. I was like, I got stung by a scorpion. She goes, I know, I heard you. You didn't have to wake me up.
On the Horn.
This is Chad. Let's talk Apple leasing once again, and maybe you're taking this week off, getting yourself a little vacation and rest. While you're doing that, though, maybe take a look at that next new car you've been looking at. Maybe you're sending a student off to school this next semester, and you need something dependable for them. Apple leasing is a great way to do that. It's the easiest and safest way to get a new car. Right now, leasing a car just makes sense. Let them tell you why. Call 346-9977. You can also go to appleleasing.com. They'll get you all the discounts and incentives that the dealers do, but they'll save all that dealer hassle for themselves. You're going to sign everything electronically with DocuSign. That was one of my favorite parts because I was tired of sitting in a dealership for hours on end. They'll get you the rebates, the sales, and everything that the dealers get you. But again, they're saving the hassle for themselves. They just pass on the ease and that great new car to you. In fact, they'll deliver it right to your driveway. 346-9977 or go to appleleasing.com.
When life sounds too much like this, it's time to consider more of this. Sometimes a little shift is all you need. A dose of perspective. Dos Equis Lager. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2021. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Now here's Rita Ballou live from inside your plumbing.
Even if your drain doesn't show any leaks or have any eye-watering smells coming from it, it doesn't mean your septic system still may not be working well. Pumping your septic tank can help improve the efficiency of your system, but you're gonna need an expert.
And that's why Hambone Plumbing is proud to announce Hambone Septic Pumping.
The same great company now offering even more services.
How do you get your septic system at proper working levels? Rita?
Call Hambone, 512-388-7030. HambonePlumbing.com.
License numbers M12470 and TCEQ 26366.
Folks, imagine selling your home and getting paid twice. I know what you're saying, E, that sounds good, but how's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid 2 times? You can do it with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash for your next home. Orchard handles everything from there, including paint, repair, they'll list and show your home. And if your home then sells for more than Orchard offered you, you get the cash upside. That bears repeating. When your home sells for more than Orchard offered you, you'll get that money too. So you get paid twice. And that happens 97% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this Austin market, with so many home buying companies trying to lowball you, Orchard is the outlier. They pay you on the upside when your old home sells for more. So let me ask you again, do you want to get paid twice to sell your home? I know I would, but how's that even possible? So learn how to get paid twice and get a free valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. One more time, Orchard.com.
Guests on the Horn appear courtesy of the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina Hotline. Vaqueros now delivers and offers curbside pickup. For info on placing your lunch or dinner order, visit vaqueroscafe.com. Chad and Zay.
Ain't nothing going on but this bomb-ass rap song. Welcome back, Chad and Zay on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9 AM 1260. I am Zay Collier. Follow me on Twitter, ain't_that_Zay. Joined by Ty Henderson, producer for B&E, and he does so many other things. Follow him on Twitter at Texas Guy Ty. Chad Hastings will be back on Monday from hopefully a very relaxing, very well-deserved vacation. And we come back to some Ice Cube. You know how we do it.
Whoa.
Yo, whoa. That's your Westlake coming out. As much hip-hop as you listen to, as swaggy as you can be, there's going to be some things that you can't change, dog. And that's what we just heard right there.
That's Westlake Choir for you. State champs.
Are you, just because you're a little young, you're still in your 20s, Where does Ice Cube rank for you? Like, do you have? Because you like old school rap, but he's West Coast. You talked about Southern rap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more. I like the. It's not like I'm more of an East Coast guy. If I'm not listening to the Third
the Mecca
Coast.
of hip hop makes sense.
But no, I like Ice Cube. I mean, he's got some killer lyrics back in the day. He kind of went soft though. What would the movie say he was in?
Are we there yet? Are we done yet? Yeah, Cube. Hey, make that money, Cube. I can't knock it. You make that money. Being able to have that range, that says a lot about him. But yeah, he did go soft.
I did cry when I saw the Straight Outta Compton movie in theaters.
Did you really?
When Eazy-E.
Oh yeah, that's sad, man. It is sad.
It's kind of.
And they make it look really bad, too, because we all know he died from AIDS.
Well, what he
says, like, the whole time, like, when they're having parties, he's like, all right, I'm going to go get me some right now. And I'm like, okay, easy, go get you some, but strap up. Just strap up, dog. That's all you have to do.
Man, what do you think he would be, like, up there wealth-wise with, like, the Ice Cubes and Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like, taking over everything?
I think so. I think he'd be right there with all those guys.
Even with all that beef he had with him towards the end?
Yeah, because you're starting to see a lot of those guys, except 50 Cent. Like, 50 Cent's the only rapper that doesn't get over beef, like, ever. But when you have Jay-Z, like, look at where Jay-Z is, which you could obviously say, would Dre be what Dre is, or would Snoop be what Snoop is, if Eazy would be alive? Because I don't know if that would be true, just because Eazy's so big, kind of like would Jay-Z be as big as he is if Biggie were alive, or Pac?
True.
All those guys. So I don't know, but yeah, I think Eazy-E would have.
I mean, I think Dr. Dre was going to be big no matter what, just from his production skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It is sad though. The whole
he was
Eazy-E
cut from a different
situation.
cloth though than those other. I feel like he was a little bit more gangsta.
Who, Eazy?
Than the rest of them.
Oh yeah, Eazy was Crip and selling drugs and
that's
stuff.
That's how he funded it.
Yeah,
right?
that's Ruthless Records. That's how it came about, like drug dealing money. Which, if you go and look at the history of hip hop, a lot of record companies and guys got started from selling that cane, and somehow getting a rap deal. Like Jay-Z talks about it all the time.
He was on my
selling The Rock. Now I'm with The Rock.
He was on my music survey as my most overrated artist.
With Craig Wayne though.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I'm just not. Obviously, I don't. I think I realize Jay-Z's good, and I like some of his songs, but I'm just not. His style, his voice, it doesn't really.
Is it because he's so tight with Braun?
I mean, that doesn't help. I didn't even think about that. You're not helping his case with me at all.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. It's just I never really liked his style as much.
Are you more of a Nas guy?
I like Nas. Yeah, that's the thing is when the New York scene shifted to the Nas Jay-Z era after Biggie, that's when it kind of
watered down for you.
Yeah, I kind of my knowledge and love for the New York East Coast rap kind of stops there.
Interesting.
But I like Nas better than
He just dropped the album today, Magic 2. I already listened to it. It's really good.
How old is he?
Oh man.
When do you stop rapping?
That's the thing, man. I hate the stigma with rap because if you look at these groups like Aerosmith, like Craig's about to go see Bob Skass soon. You know what I'm saying? Like all these old guys like in rock and, the 80s era and stuff, they go out perform Metallica, Kiss. I don't know if those guys, but they do it till they're old and gray and stuff. And then with hip hop, there's always this stigma of you can't do it for very long because it gets played out.
Yeah, I mean, when Jay-Z came, part of the reason why I don't like him was when he came to ACL and I saw him and I got in a fight at that concert. I told you that story before. We don't even need to go back over that. But it was like he was taking a break after every song, be like, all right,
really?
I need to get back in a minute, and just like chugging some water, just being an old man. Like,
yeah, maybe
if you're gonna try to bring that energy, you got to really bring it. Rap concerts aren't as they don't, at least in my experience, don't tend to be as good. But a really good rap concert, someone that can perform, is the best concert in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the best rap concerts are in tighter venues, where it's not like as spread out like festivals. It's a little tougher.
Kendrick Lamar at ACL is a good example. Like he killed it. Both times I've seen him at ACL, it's been like he's a legitimate performer. He doesn't need an insane amount of auto-tune or anything. He actually spits his lyrics on the spot. They're not just playing in the background. He's saying like every third word.
Yeah, see, like Dot gets hyped. Kendrick Lamar, he gets hype in some of his songs because some of his songs are pretty intense. I think Jay-Z is so laid back that it could be hard for him to like get the crowd up and get the crowd hype and stuff. Like he even talked about when he toured with DMX back in the day. Because think about DMX. Think about like how hype he was and then
those videos
growling and stuff like barking at the crowd and cussing and spitting and slobbering. And then like Hov would say how difficult it was to go after DMX just because he's such a different vibe and stuff like that. So if you're
but Jay-Z still gets like, it's not like he's playing his soft songs. He's still playing like Izzo and
Izzo's pretty soft in a way though. Izzo isn't
I mean, it's not DMX.
Yeah, exactly. Did Izzo compared to Rough Riders Anthem? Stop. Drop. Shut them down, open up shop. Like I don't think is there a Jay-Z song that you could pick, which I know you're not a big fan, but I don't think there's a Jay-Z song I could go through that says, you know what? If I was going to fight somebody, I would jam this. Hov doesn't have any of those.
Yeah.
It might be Takeover when he's dissing Nas, his like diss track for Nas. That might be the closest thing, but still it's Hov's laid back, smooth, like demeanor dissing Nas.
So what's your opinion on a Kanye concert then? Same thing? Or does Kanye have hype?
No, I think Kanye has a little more
He's
hype.
great live.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen him.
Yeah. Like Twisted Dark Fantasy and all that stuff. Like I think he has he could get hype and get a little crazy and jump around and stuff and do a lot of stomping and get the crowd up where they're
21 Savage. That I don't think he said more than 20 words in the microphone the entire time at the concert, but I was lit, so it was good.
Yeah, he's a guy that I put on my overrated list.
Really?
Yeah.
It's more with him. It's more about Metro Boomin.
Yeah, it's producer. Yes, and a producer could take you a very long way.
Think how much money that dude is making or
Absolutely.
has made.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of like having a offensive coordinator, and if you have a really good offensive coordinator and you play quarterback, they can make you look very good, and then they'll leave, and then you'll come back looking a little mediocre.
Yeah.
If 21 Savage goes and works with somebody that's
21
not
Savage
Metro Boom,
he's a system player.
Yeah, he's a Kirk Cousins style. Oh,
Yes,
man.
yes.
I want to get your thoughts on this Texas Longhorn football team for this upcoming season. Steve Sarkisian has made it known that this is his team. They're talking the way he wants to talk. They're acting the way that he wants to act. They're deep. He recruited very well. Guys that should have came back did, and Jordan Whittington. And I think the defense is going to be underrated when you got guys back like Jaron Thompson, who had an underrated season, Jahdae Barron, Ryan Watts, obviously Jaden Ford, Byron Murphy. I don't think we talk about the defense enough because we know what the offense can be. But what are your expectations going into 2023, knowing that it's the last season in the Big 12 and everybody and their mama is picking Texas to go to Jerry World?
Got to win every game.
Wow.
That's my expectation going in every year. But this year, I feel like I mean it more when I say it. You know, I never go into any week thinking that Texas is going to lose. I am a homer. I'm not afraid to admit that. But the talent is there. You got a quarterback that, I mean, if he takes that next step, I feel like can carry you, can be one of those top flight quarterbacks in the nation. The defense, the lines of scrimmage look different than they did 2 years ago when we played Arkansas in Fayetteville.
God, that game was bad.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst games I've
You can
ever
see
seen.
the difference, though, just looking at these guys. This team looks like an SEC football team. I mean, if you beat Alabama, the sky's the limit. I think college football playoff should be the goal. But obviously, you got to win the Big 12 in last year first.
Yeah. And I think they should get to Jerry World, too. I don't know if I expect them to win every single game. I think this schedule.
They should.
Yeah.
Alabama, we should have won that game last year. And this team is better, and Alabama is worse. So in my eyes, yes, you should win that game, even though it is in Tuscaloosa. And if you can win, if you're expected to beat Alabama, you should be expected to beat every other team on the schedule.
Yeah, Alabama has a 3-way battle going on at quarterback, and I think it's going to be Jalen Milroe at the end of the day. I don't know.
He can't throw.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Me too.
But,
Who's the other guy? Ty Simpson?
Yeah. So that's different for Saban. He doesn't usually have those problems going into every season, even though literally in a national championship game, he benched his guy, put in his backup who got selected 5th overall in the draft when it was his time. So that's a little different. But this is a very uncomfortable situation for him. And you could tell by the way that he's been speaking and like SEC media days and stuff. Like he doesn't have that same, confidence that he once did. I know it grinds his gears having his assistants now thrive, especially Kirby Smart, who just went back-to-back at the University of Georgia. But I'm right there with you. Them going to Tuscaloosa, they need to win that game. I expect them to win that game. It's just this Big 12 schedule on your way out, knowing what we know on how it being the University of Texas and nobody wants you to win and the hose jobs that can go into that. Like, I'll never forget the Oklahoma State game.
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
You're just going to have to play good enough to where that doesn't matter. You're going to play through it.
That's the scariest thing. Like, can they get to that point? Can Sark press all the right buttons where the refs aren't going to matter? The adjustments that the defensive coordinators and the other team throws at you in the second half, that doesn't matter. And you could just roll because you have that depth. You have that roster. You brought guys like A.D. Mitchell in to where Xavier Worthy, he ain't going to get that, bracket coverage and all eyes on him.
You know how I feel about him.
I do know how you feel about him. And you know what? I get it, but also you got to throw a lot of that on Sark. Like, Sark, if a guy has a broken hand, I'm not going to him, I feel like 75% of the plays.
He dropped the same amount of balls the year before.
But the numbers were a lot better, though.
Okay.
Because he didn't have a broken hand.
But
I want to say, there's
probably got less targets freshman year, same amount of drops, if not maybe 1 or 2 more. I don't know. I mean, he's a great talent. Just catch the ball, dude.
But
Come on.
With that freshman year, him coming in as a freshman, it's kind of like we don't know much about you. Yes, the weeks go on, and he had a great season, and teams started to adjust for him.
I just don't want him to be a John Burt.
It was just, I think it was just so easy to focus on him because you knew that's who only Quinn Ewers was looking at.
We were throwing the deep ball.
Was trash.
Why are we on 1st and 10? Why are we throwing it 50 yards down the field?
Things that didn't make no sense.
4 times a game on first down.
Bijan didn't get the ball enough last year, even though he won the award for best running back in the league. And Sark somehow says that having him, we kind of focused on having Bijan and Roschon last year. I didn't understand him saying that, but whatever. Maybe he's playing mind games with the rest of the Big 12. I don't know. These coaches play mind games. I still think Mike McCarthy isn't telling us the full truth about him being serious about the run game. I think that's just
I don't even think he knows the truth.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's just buying time.
Yeah, just buying time, just saying stuff. Like coaches just say stuff, and you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But a lot's on Steve Sarkisian, and like you just mentioned when we first started talking about Texas football, Quinn Ewers doing all the right things to show that he's maturing. Yes, the fresh fade, that's nice and stuff, but just taking care of his body, eating better. Hearing them talk to Craig at Big 12 Media Day saying he ain't hitting the Chick-fil-A no more, which
I thought that was healthy.
Maybe for you and me, but for all-world athlete, not so much. Especially, depending on what you get, all the sauces and stuff, it could get a little bit hefty there.
But the way his teammates are talking about him is the biggest thing for me. We had probably about a month ago, maybe a little bit more longer. Michael Taft came on one of the weekend shows.
Taffy. And
talked. Great interview. That he'll have a future in whatever he wants to do after football.
Oh, for sure.
But I've talked to him. He's got his eyes on the NFL.
Stop.
He does.
Taffy.
Yeah. He got to show me something this year. I know he got that scholarship. And nobody thought he'd ever play at Texas as a walk-on. He started a game last year. So,
hey, there was a former walk-on that became the number one pick. That was from this
if
area.
If you believe in yourself.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield. Exactly.
But anyways, he was talking about how the team is grown together as a family. It's not like they hated each other before or anything, but the commitment to spending time together and enjoying it, and having Quinn there, who obviously isn't the biggest vocal leader, but at least him showing the effort, putting in the effort to be around his teammates, develop relationships, genuine relationships. That's huge. At Westlake, that was the biggest thing for us that made us successful because we weren't the best athletes, but if you had that camaraderie in the locker room, that's you get championship level stuff right there.
Right.
I guarantee you in the Alabama locker room, no matter what, who's taking each other's, you're fighting for positions, but they all still have mutual respect for each other and legitimate love for each other.
Yeah, because those guys at Alabama, they relate to one another the way that Nick Saban treats them. I don't think he calls you by your name until the season's over with and you're in your second year. I heard Bryce Young and Will Anderson talking about that when they were doing their whole pre-draft process and doing interviews and stuff. They talked about how great of a day it was when Saban didn't just say their number, said their name, like
it was
Will
like
your
dad recognizing you
yeah,
for the first time.
they were like, oh my gosh, he called me Bryce. Like, wow. So those guys can relate to that point, but
I feel like Sark's way more personable.
Way more. Now, he took a lot from Nick Saban, which he should, greatest college coach of all time, but you got to find your own philosophy and your own way of going about things. I think he's learned from Southern Cal. I think he's learned from Washington. I think he's learned as an analyst. I think he's learned his time in the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL, and now he's putting all that together with him being at the University of Texas, which that's a whole different responsibility in itself, but he's done it the right way. I've been very impressed with going from 5-7 to 8-5, even though both of those seasons, that's not the expectation here. But with the recruiting class that he's brought in, just the whole vibe that you're getting from everybody in the locker room, the assistant coaches, what they're doing. I like Chris Jackson. I love Bo Davis and
Tashard Choice.
Yeah, Tashard Choice, like all of those guys. It's starting to click at the right time. We just got to see it on the field.
It's Kool-Aid season.
It is, man. It is.
It's hot out.
I might have a little rum in mine, straight up. I don't even drink like that. That's how I'm feeling. This is Chad and Zay on the Horn, joined by Ty Henderson, filling in for Chad Haston, who's on vacation. I am Zay Collier. It's the Horn, 104.9, 101.9 AM 1260. Stream us live at hornfm.com.
Fantasy football season is around the corner, and we're giving you a chance to win a Golden Chick gift card to get you started. Visit the contest page right now at hornfm.com and register to win a $50 Golden Chick gift card. Fantasy football season is gearing up, and Golden Chick is perfect for your war room. Golden Chick, the home of golden combos, family meals, individual snacks, and party packs. Fantasy football season is here. Visit the contest page at hornfm.com now to win a $50 gift card to Golden Chick.
A Cover 3 weekend brunch is the perfect way to kickstart a relaxing weekend. There's nothing like getting together with friends, family, and colleagues enjoying a delicious brunch with a Bloody Mary bar at Cover 3. The atmosphere at Cover 3 is always lively, and their Bloody Mary bar is a hit with brunch. With a selection of different mixes and garnishes paired nicely with their delicious fried New York strip steak and eggs or the breakfast quesadillas. Make the most of your weekend at Cover 3. Google Cover 3 to find a location near you this weekend.
The Spa at Kalahari Resorts is proud to offer wellness days for locals. Enjoy services to relax and rejuvenate the mind, body, and spirit. Pamper yourself with luxurious massages, facials, and nail services. And de-stress in the Halotherapy Salt Room. Spa Kalahari also features a hydro escape with a dry sauna, steam sauna, indoor hot tub, and heated outdoor pool. Locals within a 40-mile radius can enjoy complimentary valet and featured deals Mondays through Thursdays. At Spa Kalahari, call 512-651-1015 to book your appointment today.
Hey, what's up, folks? This is your lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. It's summertime in the great state of Texas, and the best way to beat the Texas heat is with a nice ice-cold Bud Light. All the best things about summer are even better with Bud Light. Whether it's Alicia Keys performing live at the Moody Center on July 24th or Lil Baby on July 28th, or Slightly Stupid live on stage at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater on July 22nd, or the Austin FC with home matches at Q2 on July 21st and July 29th, don't forget to break out the Bud Light. Bud Light brewed deep in the heart of Texas and proud of it.
Steel Hyundai in Kyle is growing, and we need to clear out inventory during Steel's construction event. Our mess is your gain with over 100 new Hyundais discounted to move. Hurry in before construction ends and take $3,000 off our entire inventory of award-winning 2023 Santa Cruz pickups. All backed by America's best warranty with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and owner assurance. Come get a real deal at Steel Hyundai in Kyle.
Folks, imagine selling your home and getting paid twice. I know what you're saying, Eeg, that sounds good, but how's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid 2 times? You can do it with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash for your next home. Orchard handles everything from there, including paint, repair, they'll list and show your home. And if your home then sells for more than Orchard offered you, you get the cash upside. That bears repeating. When your home sells for more than Orchard offered you, you'll get that money too. So you get paid twice. And that happens 97% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this Austin market, with so many home buying companies trying to lowball you, Orchard is the outlier. They pay you on the upside when your old home sells for more. So let me ask you again, do you want to get paid twice to sell your home? I know I would, but how's that even possible? So learn how to get paid twice and get a free valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. One more time, Orchard.com.
Your garage door won't go up or down, so give us a call. We're all over town. Promise to you is honest and fair. The real Cedar Park overhead doors. The garage door on your house needs repairs. Call Cedar Park Doors and we'll be there. We'll get there fast and we'll treat you fair. Call Cedar Park Overhead Doors.
If a garage door spring goes sprung or your opener won't open, the only place you need to call is the real Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Why us? When you need a repair done honestly, fairly, and you want it done right, the real Cedar Park Overhead Doors will always answer the call. We've been helping openers open and springs stay sprung across Central Texas for more than 30 years. Our phones get answered 24/7. Let our family serve yours. Customer first reviews, because we fix it right the first time, every time. 24 hours a day and online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
Work really hard while the other guy snores. Happy customers, we have more. We'll get it right and we'll get the job done. We're Cedar Park Overhead Doors. 335-7441.
Real Texans are genius.
Bud Light salutes you, overly dedicated Texas Longhorn fan.
How come?
You show up to every UT football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, and ball-related sport there is.
Ping pong.
Each game, you slather your entire body in burnt orange.
Every nook and cranny.
Yes, you're brewed in Texas, and so is your Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Texas Edition Bud Light beer cans. Anheuser-Busch, Houston, Texas.
I don't want to go to bed at night dreading waking up in the morning knowing that I'm going to feel like a rusty lawn chair getting out of bed and getting opened up and not being able to really move for a couple hours really throughout the day.
For former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter and those dealing with daily aches and pains, QC Kinetics regenerative pain treatments are a game changer, providing long-lasting relief.
Go into a specific joint, a specific region, and then help promote that healing process process using your own body's mechanisms to heal. I mean, that's been something that's pretty powerful, and there's no surgery, there's no downtime.
QC Kinetics natural treatments help the body heal and restore itself. No more rusty lawn chair.
It's no surprise to see people being willing to try this first, especially when it has such great results.
Pain relief the natural way. QC Kinetics. Call today for your complimentary consultation. Find out if you're a good candidate for treatment.
Call QC Kinetics, 512-593-4303. That's 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
Chad and Zay.
Welcome back, Chad and Zay on the Horn on this Friday, 104.9, 101.9 AM 1260. C. Hastings will be back on Monday. I am Zay Collier, joined by Ty Henderson. Time flies by when you're having fun. It's been a great day of sports talk and all other crazy mess that me and Ty have got into. Enjoy being on air with you, my friend.
You too, man.
Absolutely, man. You do a great job around here. Like I mentioned in the first segment, you and I share a special bond by being former B&E producers, because if you don't know, which a lot of people have never produced before, yet alone that show, those guys, as great as they are, they can be much to work with. That's what I'm saying. They can be much to work with. They're professionals for a reason, and they need things in a particular way, which is why the show has been running for over 2 decades and has been one of the most iconic shows in Central Texas sports history. And the fact that you and I have been a part of that, like, I'm
eternally grateful.
Oh, eternally grateful. Absolutely. So shout out to Bucky and Aaron, and coming back with a little Tupac Shakur, I Get Around, right before he went death row, right before Pac got out of control, like right when he got out of jail.
When he got him out of jail?
Yeah, when Suge got him out, that changed everything. That changed hip-hop. That moment right there.
Is he kind of a poser gangster?
Who?
Tupac? Is that why Snoop kind of didn't really like him?
It's interesting because I wouldn't say poser. I would say he had a lot of different personalities. And you know that, like, him and Jada Pinkett go back because they were in like an acting school in grade school back in New York.
Yeah, he went to like theater arts school.
Yeah, exactly. So he was being, in a way, like, trained to be an entertainer. And he used that, like, he was so intelligent and so street smarts, and, like, you know, he just knew so many different things that.
A bit of a chameleon.
Yeah. And, like, it's hard to diss the dead, especially against, I'm a 91 baby, so Pac died in 96. Like, I just know the history of hip hop and stuff. But yeah, man, he was interesting. He was very interesting and well-rounded guy, but yeah, I'm not mad at you for asking that poser question at all.
But that's a legitimate.
Yeah, it's a legitimate question. Because, like, how do you go from stomping somebody out in Vegas, and then back in the day, like, you were a theater arts acting kid going to school with Jada Pinkett? You know, I'm not saying that he didn't have struggles and stuff, but, you know, his mom was like a former Black Panther, and yeah, it's very righteous back in the day. So yeah, Pac, he had range. He had range, and wasn't a bad actor either. Like, we and Chad reviewed Above the Rim, and Pac, as bad as that movie is, which it's one of those, like, it's so bad it's good movies, but Pac, he stood out.
He's still living rent-free in Will Smith's dome.
Yeah, exactly. Which is tough for Will. It ain't his fault. It's his wife. It's his lady, Jada. She was wrong.
He did it
for
to
how
himself.
No, he didn't.
That interview where she's just basically like, "Yeah, I cheat on you." Like, yeah, I needed something different. And he's just like,
when did she say that? You're gonna have to find me this. I ain't never heard that, Ty.
All right.
I ain't never heard that, Ty. I know she had a red table talk.
Why doesn't she love me?
How come she don't love me, man? Yeah, if you haven't been listening to our show, Ty and I got into the Fresh Prince because him and I both love the Fresh Prince, and we talked a little Will Smith and talked about the iconic episodes there. Somebody helped remind me of an episode where Will got shot and Carlton wanted revenge. Like Carlton was on Carlton was on his mobster gangster stuff. Like, nah, that boy from Bel Air, that's my cousin. And they had to take the gun away from him. And it was hard. Yeah, it was hard for him to.
That was probably the later seasons.
Yeah, later seasons.
Started running out of ideas.
Yeah, when Will was in the he was in the ER in the bed, and Carlton like flipped the tray with the food on it. Like he was hot. Carlton was hot. They had some deep episodes, man. There was also that episode where both of those guys were trying to be in the fraternity, and the dude wanted Will in, but not Carlton because he wasn't black enough.
Oh.
Yeah, like for his taste.
God, I need to go back.
Which I'm telling you, bro, like they were.
There was one where I remember Will gets married just so he can have sex with the girl.
Wow.
You remember that? Like, and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many. They're all popping in right now. I used to TiVo every episode on Nick at Night, so I had them all ready to go. That Full House,
Cosby Show.
Cosby Show, not as much.
Okay.
Home Improvement.
Oh wow.
Fresh Prince, yeah. Those are the main ones. Yeah. George Lopez.
Okay, George Lopez. I'll mess with that. George Lopez, hilarious.
Angie? You kidding me? Or no, is it Carmen? No, Angie's his wife.
His wife was bad.
Yeah.
She's really bad. She was the mom in Selena's.
What's Selena's?
Well, Selena. I always say Selena's because that's what they say in the movie when, Selena, San Antonio, Corpus Christi. I mean, you don't know Selena, Ty?
What? It's a movie?
Yeah, the movie, the singer Selena.
Oh.
Legendary Texan.
I've never seen
Tejano
it.
music.
No,
But you know about it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the movie, J-Lo plays her, and it was a lot of crap on that J-Lo because she's not Mexican. She's like Puerto Rican. Yeah, exactly. But J-Lo killed that role. That was probably one of her best.
Jenny from the Block.
Yeah, that was probably her best work because, again, J-Lo, she ain't no Tupac. Let's say that. Like when it comes to cinema in Hollywood, Made in Manhattan, all those awful joints, nah.
Well, she was a
stick to
singer.
Selena.
She was a singer first, right? J-Lo.
She was a dancer first. Living Color. I think that's where she got big.
I'm kind of dancing.
Which, not like old dancing. She was just like Laker girl-ish, but she was on Living Color, Keenen Ivory Wayans, which was basically the black Saturday Night Live back in the 90s. The Wayans Bros.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? See, you're showing your Westlake there, Ty. You're showing your Westlake. That's what. Time to move on. Why Today Matters. That's our cue.
Why Today Matters. Brought to you by Sinus and Snoring Specialists. Get sinus and snoring relief with Dr. Daniel Slaughter at Sinus and Snoring Specialists. 512-601-0303 or sinussnoringent.com.
Oh my gosh, man. I know people out here that are listening to us. You're showing your age right there too, Ty, not knowing Living Color. That's where Jim Carrey got his big break.
Yeah.
Right? His name was James
is all
Carrey.
Flying right over my head.
Yo, that's where Jim Carrey.
James Carrey.
Yes, he was James Carrey back then. And I guess he shortened it up Jim once he got a big career and got Ace Ventura and The Mask and all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of people got big from Living Color. Tommy Davidson, Jamie Foxx, like, yeah.
And you're saying this was a black Saturday Night Live?
Basically. Yes.
Why was James Carrey on it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they needed that token. Just like Chris Rock was the token for Saturday Night Live and Eddie Murphy. All those guys were a token for SNL. SNL's great, but still, like, Living Color was...
The Bill Burr of the Chappelle Show, kind of.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But where are we at? Society today, Why Today Matters. I'm getting my segments mixed up. Today would have been Robin Williams' birthday. R.I.P.
Sad.
Very sad. Jumanji's my joint. Miss Doubtfire. Like, Miss Doubtfire in the 90s, it probably took a lot to do that.
I've still never seen it.
You never seen it? He dresses up as a woman?
I know what it is.
Man, iconic. Like, Robin Williams, so talented. Very sad that he's not with us today. Absolute legend. It would have been his birthday today. It's also the birthday. We got some pretty weak birthdays today. I'm not going to front. DeAndre Jordan, the Aggie, 35. That's what I'm saying, Ty. It's slim pickings today.
He's put me through a lot as Mavericks fan. So
that's right.
The lock-in in Houston with him and Doc Rivers and Blake Griffin and Chris Paul.
That was a weird time.
Yeah, I'm happy we didn't get him that time. And then we did sign him Well, that lasted like a year.
He gave y'all nothing.
Nothing.
He was washed. That he somehow finessed the ring, stayed in the league long enough, was on that Nuggets team. When they put him in, he probably played 10 minutes the whole finals.
At least he played, though.
Yeah, at least he played, and it was one of the worst 10 minutes that I've ever seen. I was like, okay, when's Jokic going to get ready?
Doesn't
We
have
need
much
to get
bounce.
him out. No, and that's all he had. When he was coming out of Houston and A&M to the league.
I remember him at A&M. He did nothing but rebound.
That's it. But he had the potential, and if he got with the right point guard, which that was Chris Paul, was the right point guard, they just couldn't get over the hump, those Clippers teams, because Blake would always be hurt. Chris would always be hurt. If they were healthy, who knows what could have been. So shout out to DeAndre Jordan, a Houston native, 35th birthday. CC Sabathia's birthday today. He turns 43, the lefty that used to throw heat.
Hefty lefty.
Hefty lefty. Used to throw heat for the Indians, now Guardians, and the Yankees. I always thought he was cool because he rocked Jordans too. Like he was a part of the Jumpman brand.
Like with his spikes?
Yeah, with the spikes. So he would always wear like J's that you would see on the court. They would just throw spikes on them. Like Jeter had his own Jordan shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish Jeter would have went back. Like you have to promote your own shoe. It's your shoe.
Jeter doesn't really seem like a flashy guy.
Right?
Though.
Right? But he's a winner, which made sense to what Michael Jordan was doing. And yeah, like a lot of guys now, I don't know if Mookie Betts rocks J's, but a lot of guys rock J's in the MLB. And yeah, Jeter, I wish he would have rocked, because with the pinstripes, you could wear some Jordan 11s, the patent leathers. Like you could really mix it up. Some Jordan 1s. Like I know Dak Prescott rocks J's for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think he can't rock a certain number of Jordans because of his foot situation. With his foot getting turned around, I don't think he can wear Jordan 1s anymore.
Are you saying physically?
Physically, yeah. No. He can wear them, but he can't play in them. Excuse me, he can't play
because that's what what had happened.
I don't.
That was like his leg, though, was it not?
It was
That was
leg,
gross.
foot. I don't know. Either way, it was nasty.
I thought you were saying that he's like pigeon-toed
No,
permanently.
no.
I was like, that could be an issue. Maybe that's why he threw so many interceptions last year.
No. But yeah, man, I love when athletes that, aren't in basketball rock J's. It's very cool to see. It's also David Carr's birthday. Yeah, he's a decent analyst guy, but at the end of the day, him being the former number 1 pick for the Houston Texans.
First ever, right?
Yeah, their first ever pick. He was a bust. And
he didn't really have much of a shot with that O-line that they put
true.
around him. He had Andre Johnson. That's it, right?
I don't even know if he had him at first. Like I took a little.
That was
bit.
the year after, though.
A couple of years maybe, but yeah, he had for a little bit. But I'll
talk about a waste of a Hall of Fame career,
right?
Andre.
I loved Andre Johnson.
He was a dog.
Oh man,
him and Cortland Finnegan when they fought that one time.
One of the greatest fights of all time. Like Cortland Finnegan, he was a pest.
What was he thinking though?
I mean, he loved it. That's how you know you're crazy when you get that 2-piece, because Andre Johnson got some shots in there, and Cortland Finnegan, he was still talking, smiling, talking crazy.
I do like that. Yeah,
bitch, like he was still talking mess. That's how you know somebody's crazy when you get your ass whooped and you still talking. Which
he's coming around for a sucker punch.
Yeah, like he's a sucker punch type of guy, but like. He knew that it was going to get broken up eventually, so you could still talk mess. And Andre Johnson, he was willing to meet that guy in the back at Reliant Stadium. An absolute dog. I agree with you. It's also National Junk Food Day. Favorite junk food? Go to? I know you like tortilla with sugar and stuff like that. That's not
butter tortillas.
Butter tortillas, yeah.
I'm not a big snack guy, really, like candy or chips or anything like that. And I don't really put fast food in the junk food category.
Okay.
When I think junk food, I think snacks.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a favorite chip, probably just good old Cheetos.
Oh, okay. Just a regular, not Flamin' Hot, just regular
I
Cheetos?
like Flamin' Hot with a lime, too.
Okay.
But Cheetos and then candy, peanut M&Ms.
Okay. Interesting.
In the freezer.
Yeah. I just get in different moods. It depends. Like I'm a junk food fanatic. Every chip you could possibly think of, from Ruffles to Lay's.
Well, you got the big bags of the
barbecues,
big the big bags of the
Cheetos.
pantry.
Like, it just depends on what I'm feeling at the time. Like that's what it is. I'm a
Do
big
you keep-
candy guy.
Do you keep stuff stocked at your house though, or you like go to the gas station?
I try to keep stuff stocked just to save a little bit of paper instead of like going every day to get something. Like I try to buy in a bulk as much as I can, but then stuff can get stale very fast.
Exactly.
That turns me off. So I'm bougie when it comes to my snacking and stuff. But that's because like when I was little, I didn't have that luxury. Like my parents did a really good job of making sure that
We ate
weren't
venison
eating
every
crazy.
night.
Oh,
That was it.
wow.
Didn't even know it for the first few years. Like spaghetti, venison meat, tacos, venison meat, meatloaf, venison meat.
Interesting.
And then leftovers.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I know I've
Clean.
had
I'll get you
venison.
some. I'll get you some elk meat. My dad's got a freezer full of it, and every time I go, he's like, "Need some meat?" I'm full at my house. I'm good.
That is seriously country, absolutely. But I'll take some. I haven't had deer in a long time. Like,
Elk's
it's
even
been a
better.
minute.
Like an elk steak. Like Joe Rogan does it.
Okay.
That's like the best meat you'll eat in your life.
I'll try anything food wise. Like I'll try anything at least once. Like I don't knock it till you try it. Like I'm one of those guys.
It's
so
good stuff.
I'm up for it. That is Ty Henderson joining me today, filling in for Chad Hastings. I am Zay Collier. Gonna wrap up hour 3. Ball Don't Lie coming up after us from 3 to 7. Mike Harge, Rod Babers, Patrick Davis, my guys. They are coming up right after us. This is The Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. Stream it, hornfm.com.
Ball Don't Lie.
Someone there says, yo, my tooth fairy gave me food stamps. Hey, if you give me the right food stamp, that's more than I got.
Exactly.
You can go buy something with it.
Yeah. 50
all right.
cents back then, you was good.
Someone says, when I was a kid, I got $15. Ooh, $15. That's a Westlake kid right there. Hey, what's up? Shout out Westlake. Shout out
If
Westlake.
they gave you $15, that's like, just to let you know, this is for all of them.
Yeah, this is for all your teeth.
I'm paying you up front.
Weekdays 3 to 7 on The Horn.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflow and allowing you to better communicate within your organization and with your customers. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. Great people, great service, endless possibilities.
Don't miss the sizzling summer sale going on now at Crestview RV. Every new RV marked down for summer fun. Crestview RV in Buda, I-35 South, exit 220 next to Cabela's. And in Georgetown, I-35 North, exit 268. Online anytime at CrestviewRV.com.
Hey, what's up, folks? This is your lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. By now, everyone knows that my favorite new tequila is Hot Cat Tequila. Hot Cat Tequila is my go-to tequila. The cat stands for cinnamon, agave, and tequila, and the recipe just as simple, just as delicious, and just as brilliant. Cinnamon, agave, nectar, and tequila. That's why it's so light and so smooth. Hot Cat Tequila is a tequila lover's dream. And if you're not a fan of tequila, Hot Cat Tequila will make you a fan of tequila. Hot Cat Tequila will turn any event into a party, and every party feels like a celebration. Toast and turn up with Hot Cat Tequila.
Ironworkers Local 482, building Central Texas since 1935. You see their skilled craftsmanship every day with Austin iconic landmarks like UT Memorial Stadium and the Pennybacker Bridge. Ironworkers Local 482 Union is hiring 3,000 people right now for a huge new project. Enjoy full benefits, a pension, and a rewarding career. Becoming a member of Ironworkers Local 482, you accept the challenge to give your best each day while shaping Austin's economic development. Apply today at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org.
Hungry? Get a thick, juicy steak, fries, and salad at Palazzo for just $8.99 every Monday and Wednesday from 11 to 7. Just $8.99 every Monday and Wednesday. Palazzo, the #1 preferred gentleman's club in Texas. Palazzo on Ben White Boulevard.
Treat yourself to a weekend of golf at Horseshoe Bay Resort's 3 new renovated golf courses. Play the famed Slick, Apple, and Ramrock golf courses, all designed by legendary Robert Trent Jones Sr. Horseshoe Bay Resort is the ultimate golf and recreational getaway. Enjoy scenic hill country terrain, panoramic vistas of Lake LBJ, and the finest golf in North America right in our backyard at Horseshoe Bay Resort. Play all 3 on the Robert Trent Jones Unlimited Golf Package. On sale now at hsbresort.com. That's hsbresort.com.
It's the classic dilemma at Whataburger. You pick up your all-time favorite patty melt with 2 fresh all-beef patties, melted Monterey Jack cheese, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. And just when you're about to dig into Whataburger's take on this delicious all-time classic, someone utters the dreaded words.
Can I have a bite?
Should you? Shouldn't you? Maybe you should just take a big bite so you don't have to answer. Ooh, glad that dilemma's over. The Whataburger Patty Melt, just like you like it. Order online to earn rewards.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, shout cheers to savings.
Chad and Zay.
Southside.
Oh, man.
Southside. Is this your buoy roots showing right here?
Was this my what?
Your buoy roots. That's Southside.
My buoy roots?
That's the Southside.
I would like to say yes, but this ain't what Kiki was talking about when he dropped this. He wasn't talking about Oak Hill. That is not what he was talking about. Absolutely not. This is Chad and Zay. I am Zay Collier. That is Ty Henderson. Has been a great show today on the Horn. We went outside during our break, and Mike Harch, Patrick Davis, and our technician Dave Williams, they were out there. And shout out to Lil Kiki for Southside, absolute classic. And Ty and I both went out there, and I told the guys, man, y'all, Ty did not know about Live in Color. And Harge, he looked like he just lost a lot of respect for you. Y'all's relationship might be completely changed from him knowing you know nothing about Live in Color.
He just waved his hand at me.
Yeah, man. Patrick did it. Patrick Davis was putting them on game, throwing out David Allen Greer and Tommy Davidson, and so was Dave and stuff. But yeah, that's that era. We got somebody on the Specs text line that says, I am a 63-year-old white guy. I can tell you Live in Color blew Saturday Night Live away. Another person said, as an 80s kid, Ty, you're killing me.
Well, I'm sorry. There's an age gap.
There is an age gap.
I can't be versed in every part of media and culture.
And that's why it's fun. That's why doing these shows is fun. And like that's why like all the lineups are fun throughout the day, from B&E to Light the Tower with Craig, Jeff, Cam, and to us, Chad and Zay. Then you end with Rod and Harge and Patrick. Like everybody has their own personalities. All the age gaps are different. Everybody has their own backgrounds, and that's what makes radio fun. So appreciate everybody for rocking with us this week. Let's get to Stems and Seeds.
No stress, no seeds, no stems, no sticks.
Brought to you by Audiovisual Consultations, 512-255-8678, or go to avconsultations.com. And yeah, Ty, Tom Brady is trying to make all type of money moves. He is now started a new career as a team owner in the UIM E1 World Championship electric boat racing. Other owners in this league, Rafael Nadal. So they'll be racing boats out here. And yeah, Tom just trying to get some money wherever he can get some money. I can't knock him. I might have to check that out and see how it goes. Also, what just came out today, Steph Curry just dropped a documentary ironically called Underrated. Now, I don't know about that stuff. I get it. Like, you went to Davidson, you're a point guard, you're not the biggest guy, you're not the fastest guy, but Steph Curry, you're not underrated.
He's still 6'3".
You're an NBA kid's son. You've had the greatest coaching, the greatest teaching, the greatest people in your lives, like former NBA players have given you game. You've seen it, you've been there, you've done that, you grew up around it. There's nothing underrated about you. Now, he could definitely be, I don't know what
maybe
the word
he's talking
is.
in terms of the all-time greats.
Still, he's one of the, I don't even think that. He was a first-round pick. The only thing that's underrated was his team at Davidson in college. That's it. Other than that, he's not underrated.
I don't know. He wins maybe 2 more championships. He might have a claim at greatest of all time.
And that's what I'm saying. Ain't nothing underrated about that. I get it. He's a point guard, but they should have got a different name. Steph Curry, come on now. Being an NBA player, son, you are not underrated. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me the whole week. Bucky Godbolt, Cameron Parker, Keenan Womack, and Ty Henderson. Ty, thank you again, brother. You are a great mind in this business, a great young mind. I love us young cats out here just, having each other's back and stuff, and I will always have your back. Thank you for rocking with me on Chad and Zay today.
Well, thank you. It was a good time.
Absolutely. Absolute good time. We will be back on Monday at noon. Chad Hastings will be back. We know we got final shows. I get it. It's sad, but we are going to have fun and give y'all the best of us as we ride off into the sunset.